Cousins, Bobby.
Cousins. And the toss of the coin, and Charlie Morrison's decided to kick to the river end. So...
Alrighty. A late change, Gus McLeod for Cole Rutherland.
Yeah, Josh Creswell out of the side, couldn't quite get up with the hamstring niggle, so Elijah Amory comes in after... Amory, so both the Amory boys been up there playing some NT footy. Pickle Rick went up there for a few kicks as well, our man Pickle Rick. So looking forward to seeing a few of those boys in action. I reckon there's about 12 new players in the competition running out there today, Winky. So it's going to make for some exciting footy.
Certainly is. First time we see a lot of them, but we've also got some returning players as well, Gussie, which is exciting for the comp.
All right, Winky, who are we taking a look at today on our 40-wink stat sheet?
So for the Roos, we'll take Will Chandler, Jed Longmire, Will Axel, be really excited to see him. Pumba Jolliffe coming back to the comp, Tommy McCaffrey, and then Tom Longmire across half-back. For the Wodonga Bulldogs, Jack O'Sullivan, Noah Bradshaw, Noah Spitzy, Adam Jorgensen, and young Colin Ainsworth. Really excited to see what he could do as a full-time Ovens and Murray senior player.
He's got a text message in from the coach of the Wangaratta Rovers, just saying that
fact checking.
Yeah, there's more than 2 homegrown players that reside in Wangaratta, Gus.
His words were, Shagger got it wrong.
There's 8 or 9.
Straight under the bus.
I thought 2 was very...
I thought it was 2. That's why I went with it, because it was quite a remarkable stat.
Alrighty, Bobby, who wins for you and why, please?
I'm going to stick with the Dogs. I tipped them earlier in the week. I'll stay with them. I think they've just got a little bit more polish through the whole. I'm looking forward to seeing the coach up and running this year too. So I'm going to stick with the Dogs.
What about you, David Dawson-Wink?
I'll go with the Roos by 3 goals, Pender.
Okay, Gus McLeod.
Corowa by 9 for mine, and I'm expecting Will Chandler to have an outstandingly good start to his senior career in a full-time capacity here at the John Ford Oval.
All right, Wodonga for mine. Just who kicks more goals? Kalen Bradkey or Hudson Garoni, Winky?
5 apiece.
Okay. Bobby J?
Hudson Granny will kick 6, KB will kick 5.
KB
right.
for me.
Let's hope 10 between them. That's all I want to see here at the John Ford Oval. Players are in their respective positions right on 2 o'clock, so umpire Tommy Lockhart will hopefully ball this footy up soon. Brandon Lewin, Jaden Taylor Perkins, also your other 2 field umpires for this afternoon's round 1 Easter Saturday contest. Tommy Lockhart holds the footy aloft for A-grade Alls and Batteries. We're underway with Gus McLeod, the Roos and the Dogs.
Easter Saturday footy at the John Ford Oval. Good to have your company on 2AY. Breaking away is Wilson for the Dogs. Handball over the top. In the middle of the ground was Tom O'Sullivan. We've got a whistle for a high, and it's going to come back to Tom O'Sullivan. It was against Ray Murphy. These 2 respective number 2s for their 2 sides. Had a good battle last year. No love lost between the 2 number 2s. The brothers link up. Jack O'Sullivan on centre wing. Broadcast side for the Dogs. Chiseling ball. Cody shut front and centre. Wilson got a good piece of it for the Dogs. Ooh. Nice work from Richardson. Coming through was Jordan Ayres. Underground hand pass. The Roos link up with Axelby down the line to Jed Longmire. Fumbled as he wants to attack the corridor.
Matt Wilson is down behind play, smacking the turf. So a massive early story maybe here at the John Ford Oval. He's just limping his way to the bench. Bobby Jays, we have a stoppage in the middle of the ground.
I'll keep an eye on that, boys.
He didn't look too pleased at all in that marking contest, did Mattress Wilson. So that's Thompson in the ruck. Clearing kick comes there from Corowa. That was Chandler. Left foot kick inside forward 50. First one on this ball might be young Purcell. Snapping to an open goal and he's missed it. Deegan Purcell had a little bit more time and space there. He could have almost run to the goal line and put it through. And it's through for the first score of the day, a minor score on the Steel Line scoreboard. Corowa out the back way too easy. And then Bobby J.
Yeah, it was. I just saw Matty Wilson. I reckon it might be a little bit of a hyperextension of the knee. So they're just doing the dreaded tests on the knees at the moment.
So at full back, Bridge Road end, the Dogs bring it back into play. Nice hands from Cassidy. Of course, Jet Cassidy joined in 2026 with his brother, Isaac. Jet's got the ball across half-back, chipping ball to Jorgensen. Another player that's got some brothers joining the club this year, Jorgensen. Mongrel kick to Jack O'Sullivan. Handballs over the top, trying to find his brother. He retreats. He finds the co-captain in Greenhill. Dispossessed the footy. Nice tackle from Lavis. Handball over the top. Missed Ray Murphy. His tackle was strong. Dispossessed. Umpire put the whistle away. Now ball's at bootlace level. Looking to go inboard are the Roos. In the hands of Chandler. Top of the goal square all the way. Welcome back, Will Chandler. It's touched. Minor score for Cora Rutherglen. and the Bulldogs want to play on quickly. They get the ball in the back line. Coming through here is Morrison. Morrison, long down the river side of the ground. Nice looking kick. Shutt got a big fist involved. Tracking it towards the boundary line now is Joe Hansen, and it spills out of bounds. Bob Jackson, boundary side.
Yeah, Matty Wilson's just going through some tests up and down the boundary. I think he'll be okay, boys. He just looks like he's a bit of a bruise, bit of a tension, and he's back onto it.
His initial reaction, he was not pleased at all.
No.
Was Matty Wilson. Toss back into play. True centre wing, far side of the ground. We'll get a crowd estimate from Bobby J soon, who's down on the boundary. Chandler again from the stoppage. Breaks away. Shallow entry. Finds a boundary line throw in. Bobby J, what are you thinking crowd-wise, please?
Well, going off what we saw last night, I'm thinking it's every bit and a little bit more than that. So I'm thinking maybe 2.5 to 3.
Oh, okay. Touching the 3K mark, which was estimated on the all-rounders this morning with Gus and Robbie McLeod. Boundary throw in. Clancy, early body work in the ruck contest. Chandler again, ride him down for another 40 wing. Snapping on goal and hitting the post. Out of the stoppage. Flying shot from 40. That's his second behind and Coral Glen's third behind. And this first quarter for A-grade oils and batteries, all that on the Steel Line scoreboard. We've played a tad over 3 minutes for NZ.
Hot start here from the Roos. The Bulldogs look a little bit stunned. Dangerous kick. Oh, coming in late was Jed Longmire. Up to the challenge was Cohen Ainsworth. He's going to retreat now, go to full back and finds the intended target. The Dogs want to bring it out towards Gill. Kick out too much on it for him. Hansen mops up for the Roos, kicking the centre half forward. He finds McCaffrey, too far to score. Kicks inside 50 on the lead. Caelan Bradkey marks. Just built too much of a buffer there, Bob, and once he's got 5 metres on his opponent, he's too hard to stop Big KB.
That's exactly right. A little bit cleaner with the football at the moment, Coro, aren't they? The pressure that they're putting on the Wodonga Bulldogs in their own defensive 50, and they're turning the ball over in dangerous positions, and that gives the Coro side free rein, I suppose, into a forward 50 with this guy. You just can't afford to do that. Any
breeze for Caelan Bradkey to factor in here, Bob?
It's probably blowing across him at the moment from right to left.
So he'll need to start this at the right-hand goalpost. Caelan Bradkey will kick from 50. Slight angle to the Bridge Road end. In comes KB. Kick looks pretty good. And the Roos are on the board in 2026. Caelan Bradkey kicks a big goal for Corowa. They lead 1-3-9 to the Dogs yet to score thanks to Steel Line.
Winky.
We spoke about Will Chandler pre-game and he's had 4 touches already. 3 of those being deep. Dangerous already had 2 shots on goal as well.
Bobby J, how's Matty Wilson down on the boundary?
I think he's just trying to get back onto the ground now, mate. Looks it. He's just walking and continually just testing it up and down the boundary line, so he's not too far away from getting back on.
So back in the middle, KB, of course, kicked 62 big ones last year, and that's his first in 2025, and fitting that the Doug Strang medalist kicks the first goal for Cora Rutherglen in season 2026. O'Sullivan, that was Tom. Hair pass intercepted by Curry, who retreats, and Cora once again go to half forward with a high up and under. A lovely mark taken there by Harry McKimmie for Wodonga at half back. He plays on straight away and finds Jack O'Sullivan, true centre wing. He's going to go to a one-on-one contest there, looking for Garoni. And the big number for the Dogs marks at the other end of the ground. And the 2 big boys are on fire early here for their respective sides. KB at one end, Garoni at the other.
Yeah, he just protected the space in front of him, didn't he? It was a nice, clever kick by Jack O'Sullivan, and Huddy didn't look like he was. I think a little mismatch there with Joey Hansen, so he was in the box seat there and was always going to mark that.
So Hudson Garoni, who kicked 45 goals last year for Werribee, the profile homegrown talent coming back for the Dogs. He'll kick on a 45-degree angle, just inside forward 50. He hangs it out to the left. It doesn't make its way back. Oh, Tommy Forrest takes an elite body and paint mark of the day on the last line, and no score is registered for the Dogs. They trail by 9 points early stages first term.
So Corowa want to go down the Murray River side of the ground. Axelby with another 40 wings disposal to Jed Longmire. Jed pierces a big one off through the corridor. Couldn't quite land on one, was Liam McCarthy. On hands and knees, Axelby has a crack there. Will ball the footy up. David Wink for 40 winks.
Yeah, Jack O'Sullivan getting busy for Wodonga. He's had 3 touches for the Wodonga Bulldogs.
Emmett Northey flew high in the ruck contest, getting busy up against Jack Thompson. Looks to be a good battle in the ruck so far. We'll ball it up once again. River side of the ground. Northey took it out of the ruck and throws on the left. He's showing some good signs, the youngster. Spills out the back. Purcell had a crack. Working hard here is Ruben Burke. Paddles it to Stevens. Stevens, right foot kick, high up and under. Well done, Lavis. Got a big fist involved there. Now tracks his own footy. Retreats via hand. Finds a teammate. This is Noah Amory. Amory on to Shut. Looks inboard. Finds McCaffrey. Wants to play on, does Tom. Where's the lead? The lead was well met. And chopping off nicely was Jorgensen. The Dogs rebound towards Bradshaw.
Noah Bradshaw has the ball at true centre halfback. Flicks it out to the Murray River side of the ground. Jorgensen wearing the long sleeves. Strides up the far side. Kick to half forward's a good one. Here's Jet Cassidy in the blue boots. Wheels around from 50. Garoni on the lead again. Good entry once again from the Dogs. Brilliant football, and you can't stop that movement. Huddy will line up from exactly the same angle, just on the other side of the ground, 45 out.
Yeah, some real clean ball moving out the far side there by the Bulldogs. Once they get their clean footy and protect the ball at all costs, which was an issue for them last year, they look very, very dangerous. And the Tom Longmire and Huddy Garoni matchup is a beauty, and he's going to have his hands full today, Tommy Longmire, if the delivery's going to be like that for the rest of the day.
So that was Soroczynski on the far side of the ground. On to Hudson Garoni. He'll have his second shot on goal in front of the scoreboard here. Kick on the way, might not get the distance. Out the back here, Geordie Ayres able to repel and go short to Raven Jolliffe, his first Colorado Glen touch, and he switches to the broadcast side.
Noah Amory marks in the back pocket. Netball court side here, down the line. Lavis on the lead, getting a good fist in there. Trying to keep it alive was Jai Hymas, who looks to be playing across half-back today, Bob.
Yeah, he does. He's controlling. It looks to be one of those guys that we spoke about in the pre-match that controls the footy and a bit of springboard. Just keeping an eye on Huddy Garoni. There's whispers during the week that he may have a lower leg injury or lower leg concerns. He's just struggled to make the distance from distance we expect him to kick it from.
Jack O'Sullivan across half-forward here for the Dogs. Now Hymas once again on the right boot. Inside forward 50. Garoni was the target. Doesn't sit for him. Getting busy is Lavis. Now Jolliffe exits D50, long searching kick. Soroczynski and Hansen do battle. Holding the ball should be paid there. Hansen, good strong tackle. It's going to be a free kick to the former captain. He's got it across half back for the Roos on the River side.
If you just joined us, Colorado Glen 139, a goal to KB. It's a dangerous switch across the ground, looking for Cody Shut. Dogs get back there in numbers. Spitzy, McCaffrey though. On to Geordie Ayres. That's another dangerous switch. Asks a lot of Tommy Forrest. They're playing with fire here. The Roos across half-back. Soroczynski avoids pressure and have a forward stoppage 30 metres around from their goal. They just couldn't switch the footy then, Bobby.
You can just see both sides' intentions of controlling the ball across half-back to get that space so they can really springboard off back. So the intentions are there from both sides.
So Curry clears it out of the stoppage as far as he can. Goes to a one-on-one. Pickle Rick Lavis up against Hymas, but it gets out the back here to Parker Fox for the Dogs.
Well to keep it alive. Goes to Lavis at the back of the contest. Opens up the fat side and goes long down the line. The Dogs have numbers. Flying unrealistic was Burke. Morrison with some work to do at the back. Nice pick up from St John. Bradkey looks dangerous. Overran the football. Now Charlie Morrison for Wodonga. Absorbs some pressure. Wrapped up in a tackle. Holding the ball, Bob, for the Newey.
Yeah, he did dive on the ball, but I don't think he was having any realistic attempt to get rid of it out underneath there. So I think that's a fair decision.
So Caelan Bradkey is going to be the recipient of a free kick here, and he'll go back from well and truly within range for Caelan Bradkey. He's going to have to kick it all of 52, 53 metres on a 45-degree angle, and we are starting to hear some wind in our sound effects, Mike Bob.
That wind is going to assist this kick. It's just slowly but surely blowing towards the RSL club into the ground.
So has Huddy been kicking into the wind?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
I'll take back those previous comments.
So Caelan Bradkey looking at his second, and to extend the margin here to a big one for Corowa. It looks online. Is it swinging back? It's through the middle. Caelan Bradkey's got two. And Corowa extend the margin to 15 points. The Dogs are yet to score on the Steel Line scoreboard, and they're making the most of their inside 50s, David.
They certainly are. 6 inside 50s for the Roos so far. Tommy McCaffrey up to 5 disposed in his first quarter. Of course, a former Wang Rover and Wodonga Raider players come back to play under Darren Creswell, really lighting it up in his Cora debut.
So Caelan Bradkey just picking up, I should say, where he left off in season 2025. The Doug Strang medalist with 2 early ones here. He's got the breeze behind him, and the delivery inside forward 50 has been pretty good for both sides, to be fair. Back in the middle, Clancy and looks like Venturoni doing the ruck work there for their respective sides. We have a ball up in the middle of the ground. Clancy. In fact, it's Thompson. Here's Cohen Ainsworth. He's going to get run down from behind. Just got a hand pass away in a nick of time. Stevens under pressure. On to Soroczynski at halfback. Retreats. The Dogs go down the wing. Does it stay in play? It doesn't. They do get a boundary throw in right on centre wing. Bob Jackson, boundary side for the Newmarket. What are you noticing down below?
The pressure from the Roos is extreme. It's off the Richter scale at the moment. They're really closing in on the ball carrier and the guys that are receiving, the players that are receiving the ball from that. So the pressure's high.
Give that one to Thompson. Did well at ground level. Matty Wilson weaves through traffic out of the stoppage. Floating old Munro kick into the centre of the ground. 1-on-1 there between Gill and Jolliffe. Hanson does well. Has to get it away in a hurry. Jolliffe down without the good spoil. Hymas picks it up, goes to Huddy. Longmire grabs him, and we have a stoppage. 30 out from Wodonga goal. They trail 2-3-15. Wodonga yet to score. We've played 12 minutes for NZ. Opening term for A-grade oars and batteries.
Did so well, Tom Longmire is coming from a long way back there. Ball goes up from the umpire. Jorgensen from the stoppage gets the Dogs on the board. Beautiful crumbing from Adam Jorgensen. That's him 101, and the Bulldogs get the much-needed response. They move to 1 straight 6. The Roos 2-3-15 here, thanks to A-grade oils and batteries.
Speaking of players that have picked up from where they left off, Panda, Jorgensen's one of those players. He's been really, really busy early doors, both across half-back and through the middle, and now you just see the class of the player where he, off the back of the stoppage and a quality finish on his non-preferred left foot.
23 touches and 24 goals for Adam Jorgensen last year, and the best and fairest trophy to go with it. An outstanding play for the Bulldogs.
And Team of the Year honours as well for Georgie. His brother played in the twos earlier, come over from the Pecola League. Out of the middle, Curry, who's been busy early, scooped it up to Longmire. On the boot in a hurry, lands into the pocket. It's a vacant 50. First one there is Liam McCarthy, who favours his left foot. It's a high up and under. Entry inside forward 50. Dogs have the numbers. It gets out the back to KB. Dribbling. Vacant goal square. Kick 3. Everyone held their breath down there. KB's got 3. Dribbling from the pocket. The Roos are on fire.
Talk about a home ground roll. That was a perfectly weighted and off break, leg break, whatever you want to call it. KB, he's both forwards are getting big key forwards are getting plenty of the footy, and KB's the one that's making hay while the sun's shining at the moment with 3 goals every time he's touched the footy, and at the other end, Huddy Graney's getting his opportunity as well. So the Roos are making the most of every inside 50.
Two Wodonga Bulldogs players went up to mark the same ball, and they both missed it. It bounced out the back bander.
Extraordinary, Gussie. I think that was Morrison and Burke that flew for the footy.
Yep, number 1 and number 11. Into the middle of the ground. Clancy won that tap. Wilson, as we discussed in pre-game, starting on ball. He got tackled as he went to kick. Got it to half forward. And Axelby, who's intercepted for the Roos. What are his numbers on the 40 winks, David?
Up to 3 now, working into the game nicely.
Attacks the corridor. Nice looking kick. Finds the intended target in Charlie St John. Smack bang in the middle. Overlapping run comes from Axelby once again. Wodonga have floated in the hole quite nicely on a few occasions now. That's Ruben Burke intercepting as he kicks out wide, looking to find a teammate. He's got Greenhill across half-back for Wodonga Bulldogs. 21-6 here, the Roos lead, thanks to Steele on O&M Live.
Well, Greenhill's kick was a bit of a worm burner. Asked a lot there of the 2 number 16s in Raven Jolliffe and also Harry McKimmie, who looks to be a bit sore. Come off second best in that contest as the ball spills over the line for a boundary throw-in. Winky, leading stat winner for 40 winks in the opening term.
Tommy McCaffrey at 5, Will Chandler and Adam Jorgensen 4 apiece.
So a couple of new recruits for their respective sides. Well, Georgie's been around for a while at the Dogs. He's the only goal kicker for them. Corowa through Charlie St John. He hand pass back into traffic. They get a clearing kick inside forward 50. KB getting double teamed. Rubenberg could have marked that football, but a little bit of pressure forced the double fister. Bradshaw exiting kick out of defence. It's a high up and under. All Roos on centre wing. One of those is Cody Shutt, who marks.
Welcome to second baby into the Shutt family across the off-season. Cody Shutt. His kick wasn't his best. O'Sullivan, this is Tom, brings it out to the broadcast side. Jorgensen marks in front of that man, Cody Shutt. 21 and 22, locking horn.
Holding a shoulder, I do believe. So
that was in that contest, I reckon.
Just keep an eye on it on the far side,
Yeah.
Panda.
So Isaac Cassidy has come back to the Bulldogs after some time with Surfers Paradise, linking up with my man, the Jewel Stick.
The Jewel Stick.
In the house today,
Easy.
the Jewel Stick. Long down the line, Garoni sliding in, didn't quite get there. Might have been a half volley, Bobby J. Umpire calls for it.
I think he might have got to it on the full and it just fell through the back end of his chest mark, mate. So he's providing a target. Both big boys are providing targets at both ends of the ground.
Meyer from the contest, trying to keep it alive. I think that was Ray Murphy. Yep, out of bounds, and he's lost the boot. He'll bring the ball back into play.
Watch Jorgie here, boys, at the back of the stoppage.
For Sam Jewell, former key forward for the Dogs. He did have Jewel stick on the back of his warm-up jersey, and we really loved it. Here's Jai Hymas, back of the stoppage. Left foot looks pretty good from Jai. That's through for a major. The young boy from Chilton. Time and class, a beautiful finish. He's got the Dogs second.
Yeah, as I said, watch Jorgie off the back of the stoppage. They followed him in, and Hymas was the recipient of some space, and that was a beautiful run under his left foot there, and that was a quality finish from a young man.
He's got some serious talent and athleticism, this Jai Hymas. Bulldogs right in this game.
What's the best on the 40 winks, David?
Adam Jorgensen getting busy. He's up to 5. Jack O'Sullivan started with 4 early touches, but it's gone a little bit quiet. They want to get the coach back in the game.
5 goals in 17 minutes, Gussie. Good start here on Easter Saturday.
Yeah, 3-3-21 plays 2 straight on O&M Live. 18 minutes gone thanks to NZ Albury. And we're back in the middle. It's going to be Clancy in the ruck up against Thompson. In fact, it's Venturoni. My apologies. Up went the footy. No one really won it cleanly. Coming through is Ainsworth. He's wrapped up in a strong tackle. Umpire calls for the footy. Jordan Taylor-Perkins, Tommy Lockhart and Brendan Llewellyn, the men in charge this afternoon. Give that one to Venturoni. Clever tap to his own advantage was Jorgensen. Inside 50 go the Dogs. Wilson's resting deep. Spills out the back. Spitzy got a bad bounce. Still hunting the footy is Noah. Head over the football. The Dogs have numbers. Tom Longmire has a crack. Jackson Richardson's looking busy. Cassidy, Isaac wrapped up in a Longmire tackle. He's impressed early. Cassidy hits it towards the boundary line looking for Spitzy who have another boundary throw in deep in the Dogs' pocket.
Just Geordie Ayres has put a blanket over the top of Spitter, hasn't he, at the moment, boys? He's struggling to be any sort of influence on the game, Spitter. He's really trying to find some space, but Ayres is wearing him like a glove.
Has not touched the ball yet, Noah Spiteri.
We've played 19 minutes for NZ. Boundary throw was an interesting one. Longmire could have grabbed that out of the ruck and threw it almost, as Geordie Ayres sees it through for a minor score. And the Dogs move to their 2-1-13, their first blemish of the day.
Spitzy's down too, sorry, Panda.
Yeah, he is indeed. 3-3-21. So a couple of sore boys, Wilson, McKimmie and Spitzy, Bobby J. They're the walking wounded at the moment.
Yeah, I think Spitzy got a bit of a stray elbow there where he's trying to break free into that stoppage.
Forrest kicks in from full-back and he finds Shutt on the junction of the boundary line and the 50 arc. Chips the ball inboard, Liam McCarthy. Well, I think's playing forward, Panda, across half forward, Liam McCarthy.
Certainly is. He's a natural half-backer.
He's normally a pretty good kick on that left boot. The Ovens and Murray Interleague representative. Long down the line, flying across the pack. Ruben Burke takes elite body and paint mark of the day as they come inboard. His kick wasn't elite, that's for sure. Here's Chandler getting busy for the Roos, breaking away onto the left, chiseling the ball to Bradkey. It's too easy from the Roos. Chandler to Bradkey. Get used to seeing that at the John Ford Oval. That is Corowa at their best.
That forward hard pressure from the Cora Roos is there for everyone to see.
Hang on, we could have a 50 here.
I don't know how that's not 50, boys.
Ray Murphy just copped a bit of a don't argue there. I'm not sure who from, Bob.
Ruben Burke. Very lucky that that's not a kick from the top of the goal square.
The boy from Denny, Ray Murphy, would have had a fair bit to say, I would assume.
No, he's very good at that.
If Will Chandler's going to get free footy from 60, 70 metres out, KB will kick 1,000 goals this year.
You cannot defend that when you turn the ball over like that. You leave your defence all exposed.
5 touches and 4 inside 50s for Will Chandler.
And make it 4 goals for Caelan Bradkey. 4 looks on the big sticks, 4 majors, and he's pretty happy, the big Cabbage Patch Kid. Caelan Bradkey's got his 4th. The Roos moved to 27. The Dogs on 13. Here on the Steel Line scoreboard, we've got a cracker, Bobby J.
That's alert down there. They've got to tidy up the footy across half-back Wodonga, haven't they? They're really starting to turn some crucial footy over there. Yeah, Ruben Burke on that occasion was trying to hit Bradshaw through the corridor and get out the other side. You've got to get those kicks pinpoint. Otherwise, guys like Longmire and Chandler are just going to feed KB all day and he'll kick a... He's already on his way to a bag.
10 inside 50s, 7 shots on goal for the Roos so far. Efficiency's through the roof.
In a round 8 contest last year, KB kicked 7 of Corowa's 8 goals. And at one stage, he had all their goals until a late stage in the last quarter. Surely, lightning does not strike twice here. He's got all the four of Corowa's goals in this opening term. There's a free kick to Matty Wilson in the middle of the ground for holding the ball, who wants to get on with it. It's an interesting, ordinary kick to half forward, but it Works out all right for Adam Jorgensen, who's been busy early. On to Garoni. Linking up beautifully. This is his third mark inside 50 on the lead, Huddy, and this is where they're wanting having set shots on goal, directly in front, 40 out.
Geez, I'd hate to state the obvious, and we did in the pre-match, but these two key forwards, they're putting on a bit of a show here. You know, KB's getting the recipient of some fantastic entries inside 50, and Huddy, well, he's the main target for the Wodonga Bulldogs with his third mark, as you said, and being the target for numerous other entries. Could
be a long day for Charlie Morrison and Tommy Longmire if we keep this up, Winky.
Certainly could be, Panda.
Hudson Garoni directly in front. Kick on the way is good. Welcome back to the Dogs, Hudson Garoni. He's kicked his first in season 2026, and they trim that margin back to 8 points.
Adam Jorgensen up to 7 disposals now. You see how clean he is with the football, and that little chip inside to a leading Hudson Garoni was perfectly weighted.
Matt Wilson kicks the ball like he bowls. Not sure what
comes out. Is that good or bad, Bob?
No, not good. What
what I think that means, Bobby, is that whatever comes out, it can be really good or really bad.
Yes.
Wicket balls or crap.
Yes. He's either wicket or six, old Matty.
So, Gussie, as you're ruffling around the back then, Hudson Garoni with his first. That's 5 between KB and Huddy in the opening term.
I'll tell you what, we asked for a shootout, and we've got it here at the John Ford Oval. Wilson's back in the middle, got the clearing kick for the Dogs. Overrunning it was Jack O'Sullivan as the ball comes out wide. Greenhill now.
Really silly, Gussie.
Yep. We're going to get a 50 here, and the Dogs will look to have back-to-back goals.
Don't need that, particularly when Spitter hasn't touched the football for the first 22 minutes of this game. You just want to keep him outside 50. He wouldn't have been able to kick a goal from there. So that's a very important free kick against the Cora.
Spitzy goals from point blank range, I should say. Wodonga moved to 4-1. Cora were 4-3, and we've got a game on our hands for Steelline.
Spitter's certainly not a player you want to gift an easy opportunity to, especially one that puts him at the top of the goal square like that.
He's a player that only needs 10 touches for the game, isn't he, Winky? And then he bang 5 or 6 goals on in 10 touches.
Averaged 10.5 last year, Bob, and kicked 52 goals.
Oh, thank you for backing me up there, mate.
You're welcome.
Geordie Ayres would be dirty on that. He's had Spitzy's measure, and that just might ignite a flame for Noah Spiteri. Of course, he was kept goalless only once last year, and it was by that man he's on today in Geordie Ayres. He's just given him a little sniff. Back in the middle, 27 plays 25. Roos by 2 points. We've played 24 minutes for NZ opening quarter. Umpire Brenton Lewin says, give it to me. We'll have a repeat stoppage in the middle of the ground. Panda and Gus with you today for McRae Motors. And, of course, Border Bandag. Great to have Border Bandag on board in 2026. Axelby left the football behind. Cassidy was really clean. A smart kick out wide to Hymas, who marks just inside forward 50. And Jai Hymas, the raking left foot kick, will line up from 48 metres into the wind on a 45-degree angle.
No coincidence, boys. They've sort of neutralised the... They've sort of 50 metres.
Oh, no.
Moved off his mark.
So this will be 2 certainties for the Dogs inside 2 minutes. Jai Hymas has been marched to the top of the goal square, and he'll kick his second, and the Dogs will hit the lead. Strange scenes here at the John Ford Oval. 5-1-31 to Corraligan, 4-3-27. We've played 25 minutes for NZ.
Yeah, what happened there was Jai faked to kick the ball into the pocket, and whoever the player was on the mark, it might have been Geordie Ayres, was it, boys? I couldn't quite see who that was. Moved off his mark and coincided in a 50-metre penalty. It's a tough penalty for moving one step, isn't it, really?
It certainly is, Bobby. An alarming stat for Cora early. 10 inside 50s for the Bulldogs, but they've had 5 marks inside forward 50 already, compared to Cora's 10 inside 50s to the 1 mark. Something they need to tighten up in that back 6.
This is a cracker, boys. The ball's zinging about. There's goals being kicked. Key forwards are taking big marks. This is great.
9 goals in the opening quarter, and we've still got a couple of minutes left, you would assume, on the NZ Albury time clock. KB has kicked 4 goals. Hudson Garoni 1. If you've just joined us, the 2 big key forwards for both sides. And out of the middle once again, Curry with a stoppage clearance. Snapped it out to the far wing. Chandler just held on to Nico Stevens, and Nico Stevens wins a free kick, and he plays on. He's brought down holding the ball. A big tackle. And I think that's Elijah Amory, the late inclusion. In for Corowa. Kick finds McCaffrey, edge of the square. Where's KB? Surely he can't kick 5 in a term. Kicks it to the top of the goal square. Bradkey out the back, 2 hands to it. He's being double teamed at the moment. Morrison happy to see this one over the boundary line. And we'll have a throw-in 20 round from Corowa's goal.
Well, Donga's made some adjustments here. Once that ball got turned over in the middle of the ground, they ran back in numbers really, really hard. So they've made some adjustments here defensive-wise.
Boundary throw-in, late stages opening term for A-grade oars and batteries. Curry, clean, dodges around one and kicks a Sungen point of the day. He did everything right, did Angus Curry. All the hard work, the dizzling, the dazzling, and didn't have the kick to match it. And it's through for a minor score. And Matt Wilson brings the footy back in for the Dogs. He goes short to Ruben Burke in the back pocket, who's looked really good. Bobby floating across half-back.
Yeah, he has. He's a key player in today's game where it shut down KB's space in front of his leading pattern. So he's a real big game today, Ruben Burke.
How many intercept marks for both sides so far, Winky, in the opening quarter for 40 Winks?
4 to the Bulldogs, 3 to the Roos.
And a couple of those to Ruben Burke.
Yep.
They go long down the wing. Venturoni, in fact, it was Thompson, got 2 hands to it. Here's Isaac Cassidy, brought down. Not sure he dispossessed of the football. Axelby, right him down for another 40 Winks. On to Curry, off a step. Pickle-Rick, down on the ground, wasn't able to mark. They go short, Cora, down the far side, finds Ray Murphy. Ooh. Is that 50? Around as he marked Ray Murphy, and we all thought here in the box that should have been 50 metres.
Maybe a bit of mayo on it from Ray, but it should still be a 50-metre penalty.
And Ray Murphy will have a shot from 75 metres.
What are the odds, Panda?
I reckon high, but the wind's behind him, Bobby. This would be 75-metre torp. Surely he'll bring out the barrel.
The people's champ, Ray Murphy, won't get the distance, I'm sorry.
So he's got the breeze behind him. The boy from Denny. And that ends a ripping opening quarter here at the John Ford Oval. Wodonga trailed by 14 points at one stage, but they take a 3-point lead into quarter time. 5-1-31 Wodonga. Corowa 4-4-28. This is O&M Live, and on O&M Live, you will not miss a thing.
SS&A, this is your place.
All right. I love you. Have a good shift.
The all-new Nissan Navara, built for the grid shift.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Whatever it looks like, with GoTAFE, you've got this. Get real skills for real jobs and careers right now. Search GoTAFE today.
The Ovens and Murray Football League is proudly sponsored by Opal. Thinking packaging? Discover Opal.
Shorty get inspired. How about that? How about that? This time, shorty get.
Explore where your new home begins. Discover our designs. Discover local land. Discover what's possible. Visit Sundancer Homes' new sales centre and showroom at 482 Kiowa Street, Albury.
I reckon I'll go mid. Carlton Dry 3.5. Embrace the mid.
No one celebrates life like you do. At Tobin Brothers Funerals, we're here to help you celebrate the life of your loved one, your own special way. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
This goes out to all the athletes, the fitness buffs, and the huff and puffs. On your marks, get set. Find your perfect fit at the Athlete's Foot.
Crowd, a bumper Easter Saturday edition, and the footy to match it as well, as we saw a 9-goal opening term, 4 goals to KB, the reigning Doug Strang medalist for Kyle Rutherglen. They trail 4-4-28 to Wodonga 5-1-31. Blake Penderescott with you, Gus McLeod back with us, Bob Jackson down on the boundary, we'll get to him soon, and David Wink on the 40-wing stat sheet. Please, Winky, Tondo Holmes caught his best in that opening quarter.
Oh, hard to go past Caitlin Bradkey, absolutely the best player on the ground, 4 goals early. Before quarter time, absolutely dominating. And then for the Bulldogs, Adam Jorgensen, 7 disposals, but I thought Matt Wilson got going in the back end of that first quarter. He looked really dangerous as well.
Jai Heimers kicked 2 goals also in the first quarter. The young boy from Chilton. Winky, tell us a little bit about him.
He's just athletic. He's tall, athletic. He had a badly broken leg a couple of years ago out of the TDFL finals. The game got stopped and pushed a whole day back. It was that bad. They didn't want to move him from the ground, but he's got some real athleticism. GWS listed in the VFL with the Albury Hub, but he's got some real talent, really raw, but has plenty of talent.
Just caught up with Matt Wilson from the Wodonga Bulldogs. Impact. It is said someone smashed into his knee. He feels fine. And he was running off the ground into the room. I said, where you going, mate? What have you done? He goes, nah, mate, just got to go to the bathroom. I've had too much to drink.
Not the first time he's had too much to drink, old Matty Wilson.
No, and usually it's down in the Star Bar urinals or, of course, the Newmarket Hotel. Bobby J, you're down on the boundary, mate. Were you just floating between the two huddles in no man's land?
They're actually very, very close. I can hear both coaches actually speak here, so I'm just loitering. I'm going to grab Joel Price here in a second. Just some interesting onlookers here. Sammy Lewington, there's some real big crowds around both huddles here, so it's a fantastic day, and it's good to see so many people down here watching the footy.
Of course,
I'm just working my way through here.
Well, you go and pick out Pricey whenever you can, Bobby J, and you just butt in whenever. Of course, the assistant coach of Cora Rutherglen.
Special delivery from Dean Roos from our Corowa Whiskey Factory and Junee Chocolate Factory. The chocolate pretzels, Panda.
Right, it is Easter, of course.
It is Easter, all wrapped up in a big Easter egg. So thank you to the man they call Willy Wonka. We'll go to you, Bob Jackson. Looks like you got Joel Price, the assistant coach of Corowa.
Boys got assistant coach here, Joel Price, mate. What was a message there at quarter time from the coach? I did see that he had lowered the eyes going inside 50 on the white. Was that close?
Yeah, no, we probably just teed off, to that tee-off point a couple of times, which was a little bit disappointing because early on, that's where we got our scoring shots from when we were kicking to advantage. So just not rushing, taking our time going inside 50, and then when the ball's coming out, probably just a little bit more urgency to defend.
Thanks, Pricey. Thanks, mate.
Joel Price, assistant coach, of course, of Cora Rutherglen, under Darren Creswell, year number 2. Interesting stat, Crezza has never missed finals in his second year at his respective club that he's been at in the Ovens and Murray. This is his 3rd tenure. Of course, started at the Raiders, Wangaratta Rovers, and now here at Cora Rutherglen. A 9-goal opening quarter in perfect conditions for footy. Just repeating again, Bobby J, wind favouring what end of the ground? We won't cross to him because he's getting hugged down there from the crowd. You're that popular.
Stumpy Lavis just coming and having a bit of a quick chat. The wind, I think, is not much there at the moment when I walked out there, but there were early doors. There was just a little bit of a zephyr going to the club end, but I don't think there's too much to speak of now.
Going to the John Ford Bridge end. Ray Murphy getting a bit of work on his calves down below us. He was in amongst the action in that opening quarter. We're about to get underway here in the second term. All thanks to CMV Truck and Bus. Here's Gus McLeod.
Thanks, Panda.
Oh, no.
And have a look at that. Look who's in the on-ball brigade. Oh, beautiful kick from McCaffrey. And Jed Longmire, who's floated forward, will have a shot on the big sticks.
What do you think the move is there with Jolliffe going to the ruck, boys? Is that just a crash and bash, just a bit of urgency through the middle for a little bit?
Fourth on baller is what I'm assuming, Bobby. Yeah, the fourth on baller. So he's mad. We said that in the car on the way down, Pumba Jolliffe, Wink.
Yes, he is hard as a cat's head and will run through a brick wall to do anything for his teammates, Gussie.
So here's Jed Longmire, the newly appointed co-captain. He's kicking to the river end from 35 metres out. Call it straight in front. Jed loves a goal, and he loves that one. Through the big sticks. Dream start to the second term for the Roos. And Cora Rutherglen regained the lead, Bobby Jackson.
Yeah, interesting. That the Jolliffe call, and that might have caught the Wodonga players off guard in the middle, and instant reaction and instant result in regards to hitting a target inside forward 50. And as Pricey said, that they wanted to lower their eyes a little bit and hit the players on the hit up lead, and they listened to the coach to a perfection there.
Jed Longmire, the only player for Cora Rutherglen that averaged 20 disposals last year, averaged a goal a game as well.
So Jed Longmire, we don't want to speak too much out of school, but he was offered the opportunity to play for Sydney VFL today. He said, bugger that, I'd rather play for the Roos, which is what you like to see. Pumba Jolliffe getting up nice and high in the ruck.
Did he win the hit out?
He won the hit out. That's JP style. Extraordinary there from Pumba Jolliffe.
JP can't jump that high.
No, he cannot. A free kick in the middle of the ground to Cora Rutherglen. Stevens did well to win a free kick. He made sure the umpire saw that for the Dogs. That was against McCaffrey. Nico Stevens, second year at the Dogs, goes short to Cohen Ainsworth. Deep in defence for Wodonga. First year of senior football. Had a monster pre-season after an overage year with the Bushrangers. Goes to a 2-on-1. Not a great entry at all. And taking a nice intercept mark was Tommy Longmire for Corowa. He goes short to Curry. And he goes short to Tom McCaffrey on centre wing for the Roos.
Bobby, just keep tabs on Jackson Richardson. No prior. Long down the line goes Ollie Greenhill. 2 Roos, 1 Dog. Got some work to do, does Garoni. Does well, neutralises, then gets it going his way. Here's Jack O'Sullivan. Nice tackle from Axelby. Umpire Llewellyn says holding the ball. Play of the day, thanks to Black Locks in Lavington and Elite Body and Paint. The Roos regain the footy across half back.
Curry's kick asked a lot of Axelby, who was up to the challenge beautifully to dummy around his opponent. Was in a spot of bother there for a second. Goes back to Tommy Forrest, 20 metres from his own defensive goal square. He's called to play on. Kick out really wide, finds Joe Hansen at right half back. In front of his Cora Rutherglen contingency of fans behind him. Looks like he's going to go long down the line here. He does. In the hole here is Raven Jolliffe. Jumped a bit higher in the ruck before did Raven. Ollie Greenhill taps it down. Well done there from Curry. On to Chandler. Left foot kick in a hurry. Does it stay in play? It doesn't. Goes out of bounds right in front of Bob Jackson, who could have had a 40 winks disposal.
I think Gus has hit the nail right on the head here. Richardson is going everywhere where Matty Wilson is. I was just watching some defensive running by Matty Wilson, and Richardson followed him everywhere.
50 for encroaching on the mark. Bradshaw's going to get it. And he's going to get the Bulldogs to within 60 metres of goal. He goes to a handballing target. Inside 50 goes O'Sullivan, the coach, trying to find a teammate in Spitzy. Well done, Ayres. Lavis at ground level, left it behind. Gill, handballing to Spitzy. Tapped it over the top to his own advantage. Jack Cassidy looks busy here for the Dogs. Head over the footy was shut. Pinballs around. Forrest just spikes it as far as he can. And Lavis mops up the crumbs.
He does at half back. He's got enough time to take a bounce. Onto Amory, the late inclusion. Well done, they work it out by hand. Chandler, forward hand pass towards McCarthy, but Ruben Burke intercepts for the Dogs on centre wing. Kick to space, finds Jorgensen. Thought he played on there at half forward. Borks one way, then the other. Shallow kick towards Forrest. In fact, that was Cassidy. Forrest doing the intercepting. Spiteri tied up against the pocket. Goes towards goal, and Tommy Longmire does well in defence for Corowa. He went for a bounce and the ball didn't come back to him. Enough time to go by hand to Jolliffe. The Roos lead by 3 points here in the second quarter.
The ball's just going to spill out of bounds. A bit too much on it for Tom McCaffrey. Hey, Bob, I've been really impressed with Tom Longmire. He looks to be a real solid contributor.
Yeah, he's really clamped down on Huddy Green. That's going to be a fantastic contest. I think he's just got him for strength there. So Huddy's going to try and work him over, aerobically around that forward 50. But Ruben Burke's intercept play over the far side was crucial because Cora was out the back and away then.
5 minutes gone thanks to NZ in the second term. Square wants to penetrate through the corridor. Nice one to Ainsworth on the trusty left. He's got a player in space. Needs to sit for Tom O'Sullivan. Coming off his line was Joe Hansen. Impacted the contest and it spills out of bounds in front of the club rooms here at the John Ford Oval. The Roos lead 5-4-34. The Dogs 5-1-31. That's on the C&V Truck and Bus scoreboard.
Just a bit sloppy there. Ainsworth had prime position in the middle of the ground and just a kick that missed its target. Sloppy entry.
So we've only had one goal in this second quarter through Jed Longmire. Repeating, Caelan Bradkey kicked 4 in the opening quarter. And Hudson Groney with 1 to the Dogs. We're on key forward watch here on Easter Saturday. Ball up. Half forward here for Wodonga. Thompson and Northey doing the ruck contesting. Spills out here. Venturoni, in fact, Thompson went by hand. Amory. Wayward hand pass. Northey likewise. Jorgensen going in and getting gang tackled. And we'll have a ball up in the exact same spot as about 30 seconds ago. Scoreboard back here at the John Ford Oval. 5-4-34 Corowa. 5-1-31 the Dogs. Northey with a clearing kick. Doesn't go 15. McCaffrey, who's been really busy, set upon by Parker Fox. David Wink, 40 winks.
Tommy McCaffrey getting really busy. He's up to the 8 disposals. We know he's played in this competition before, had VFL experience. Looks to be a real find for the Roos.
In the ruck, Northey's been good. Nico Stevens' kick was smothered off the boot. Chandler for the Roos just hacks it forward. Holding free kicks going to go the way of Liam McCarthy. Lavis wants the advantage. Umpire says no, bring it back.
He was off then.
He was off to the races, our man Pickle Rick. Here's McCarthy in the centre circle. Chipping ball to Lavis. Just a bit too high for him. Did well to make a 50-50. But he's going to win himself a free kick for a hold. So Lavis between the centre circle and the edge of the square for Corowa. Kicking to the river end. Inside 50. Oh, Bradkey all alone. How did that happen, Bob Jackson?
I don't know. That was just silver. Pickle Rick was just waiting for the C's to open, and it opened beautifully. And the wrong person to open it for. KB just took that on the chest. Uncontested mark inside 50. That was calculated. Pickle Rick Lavis wanted the ball for a good 30 seconds there and eventually got it. And that's the reason why he wanted it, because he knew he could hit a target inside 50. And that was silver service.
Who said KB was going to kick 5? Was that you, Bob?
I said 5 in the first half, didn't I?
I tell you what. Caelan Bradkey is kicking at his 5th at the 8-minute mark of the second term. Directly in front, Murray River End. Caelan Bradkey has 5.
Fantastic first half here from KB. We know he won the Doug Strang medal last year, but one thing that was alarming for Cora, if it wasn't KB, the next best was Darcy Hope on 16 goals, and he only played 6 games. So KB, while it's all good, he's kicking all the goals, they do need to find a few other avenues to goal.
A little bit of a breakdown in defensive setup there, I think, for Wodonga. They sort of slowed to get back in and cut down the alleyways and the lanes for the forwards to lead into. And KB's that good a play. He'll find a space. He'll find a gap.
If he kicks 14 and they win, Winky, I don't reckon Kreza will be too upset just quietly.
He won't kick 14 every week, though, will he, Blake?
No, but I tell you what, he's on his way today. He's kicked 5. O'Sullivan, Jack, out of the middle. Hand pass, not great, but it sits okay for Soroczynski. Goes back to Jack O'Sullivan. His number's Winky.
Up to 9, the coach.
Getting busy. Ainsworth with a turn of pace just to burn 3 opponents. His kick, though, wasn't all that great off the side of the boot. Spitzy tried to cleverly keep the ball in and finds touch. 40 out from Wodonga goal. 5-6-4-40. The scoreboard's a little bit behind here. Corowa. Wodonga 5-1-31 for C&V Truck and Bus. We've played 8 minutes for NZ. Throw in just inside the Dogs forward 50. Garoni doing the ruck work. Gill swings it around on the left foot, kicks it towards goal, and it is allowed to go through for a rush behind. That moves the Dogs to 5-2, trailing Corowa 6-4. Winky, what do you got for us for 40 winks?
Colin Ainsworth, that turn of pace was really good that you mentioned, Panda. He's up to 5 disposals, but has had 3 in this second term, getting busy and injecting some X factor for the Bulldogs.
Jackson Richardson's following Matty Wilson everywhere to the point where he's sitting next to him on the bench here right now.
Yeah, that's a genuine tag, isn't it? Longmire from fullback. Ball comes inboard. Ray Murphy marks. Got it from Geordie Ayres. They got across half back to Roos. 10 minutes gone for NZ Albury. Hope you're enjoying Easter Saturday footy on O&M Live. as Murphy sends the Roos long down the line. Coming off his line to take a strong mark was Ruben Burke, and his intercept marking numbers have been strong. Kicks dangerous in the middle of the ground. Up to the challenge was Gill, and he took a strong mark in front of Bradkey, who's worked up to the middle of the ground. So Riley Gill for the Dogs. Congested forward line awaits, so he kicks to the hot spot and hopes for the best. Inside 50, it falls in the lap of Spitzy. There was a bit of Pagan's paddock about that, Bobby J. Kick it to the hot spot, let the forwards go to work.
I'm not sure it was deliberate. It was a little bit floaty, wasn't that kick? And Spitter, with his fantastic ability to read the play with the ball coming in, got front and centre, and that's all he needed. He only needed a step or two, didn't he? And that's what he said in the first quarter. He only needs 10 touches, this guy, and he can really make you pay. So he's having his second shot on goal after 3 touches.
Just his 4th touch for the game, this for Noah Spitzy.
On the 40-wing stat sheet, here's Noah Spitzy. Kicking to the Bridge Road end, strikes it nicely. Spitzy has missed to the near side for a minor score. So he takes his tally to 1-1. The Dogs move to 5-2-32. And Corowa a 6-4-40 here on O&M Live. Hope you're enjoying the second term for Blacklocks Lavington.
Jackson Richardson on the ground. And what do you know? Straight to Matt Wilson, who's playing deep forward now.
He's gone across the half back there, Panda. So they're just going to try and break that tag by Matty Wilson playing behind the footy.
You're right. They were kicking to that end in the first quarter. And you swap ends in this game called AFL football. So that would be half back.
I got your back, brother.
Chandler at half back for Corowa. As he goes long down the wing, high up and under. Where's KB? There he is.
Wow.
Plucking them from everywhere. An elite body and paint player that he played on in a rush. Nothing was really on. McCaffrey said, I'll mark it. I'll back you up, KB. Another elite body and paint player that and Tom McCaffrey will line up tight angle, 40 out up against the boundary.
The sound the football made when it hit KB's hands there was was just like thud. And then the pass into the forward 50 was clever.
It was in a hurry. Clever will call it. McCaffrey, we're right behind this one. He strikes it all right. He hits the post. He hits the stick. He's having some game as Tommy McCaffrey on debut for Corowa. And they extend the margin out to 9 points. 6-5-41 to the Dogs, 5-2-32. We've played 12 and a half minutes for NZ second quarter.
The scoreboard's down here at the JFO, so thankfully Luke Chilcott from Wainwright Indigo Computers has got his finger on the pulse. The Roos have got the ball with Forrest. Inside 50 for Cora Rutherglen. Longmire, Jed makes a good contest. Impacting was Richardson. Greenhill shoves it backwards. Working hard is Big Deacon Clancy. Umpire Brendan Llewellyn says no prior opportunity. Will ball the footy up deep into attack here for the Roos.
5 inside 50s to the Roos, 4 to the Bulldogs. This game is going end to end, boys. We've got a beauty.
13 minutes gone for NZ in the second term. Venturoni, the man that has 3 wheels on his car, won the ruck contest. Down to Ainsworth. Handball over the top from McKimmie was good, and the Dogs look to be away. Long down the Murray River side of the ground. Geordie Ayres just pushed Spitzy out of the contest. Intercepted at centre wing on the Murray River side of the ground for Corowa Rutherglen.
The Oz kickers are getting ready below us. Very excited.
They're pumped.
They are pumped, wearing the Richmond Tigers long sleeve jerseys. They are going to be on the John Ford Oval here at half time. Longmire plays it safe down the boundary line. Bit of a kick in hope, but it lands in the arms of Raven Jolliffe. 50. Is that 50?
Yep.
No. Tommy Lockhart looked like he signalled it and wasn't really feeling it after that and said no. So Raven Jolliffe, 80 metres from home, sits it up towards KB. He's got 2 to beat. Morrison edged him under the football. Wilson was clean and clever onto Morrison. All brought down on a great tackle by Elijah Amory. Jed Longmire picks it up in the pocket, snapping on goal. That's his second. Played on with the advantage. A great tackle from Elijah Amory, and Jed Longmire extends the margin to 15 points.
That forward pressure is so impressive by the Corowa Footy Club here at the moment. They're just creating opportunity after opportunity off the back of defensive work in their forward 50. So Jed Longmire, fantastic finish. That's 2 important goals in this second quarter. Corowa have kicked all 3 goals in this quarter, so the Bulldogs need to make some adjustments here before it gets out of hand.
4 disposals for Jed in this quarter. He's kicked 2 goals already in his first game as captain of the club. Gussie?
3 on the bounce. Bobby J, that's a nice 40-wing stat from you. You're doing it all.
I just try, mate. I just try my hardest.
Bobby J right on the boundary for the best pub in the world, the Newmarket Hotel.
The best deck.
And didn't I do some damage there a fortnight ago? Here's Elijah Amory, head over the footy for the Roos. Imus got taken high. In fact, it was Ainsworth. Ainsworth got taken high by Purcell. No malice in it, as Cohen wants to switch the footy out wide. Searching for this is McKimmie. Umpire says play on. Over the top, in fact, it was Riekemann. Riekemann fed the ball long down the line. Here come the Dogs. Working hard here is Cassidy. Cassidy regathers to Jack O'Sullivan. Handball over the top. Trying to find Venturoni for Wodonga. Kicking inside 50 now go the Dogs. Forrest brought it front and centre. Garoni Crumbs, not known for that, the big man, but did a pretty good job. Spiteri breaks out of the tackle. Snaps from the pocket. Noah Spiteri's kicked his second. Something from nothing from the man that does it week after week. Noah Spiteri with the dream response for the Dogs.
Spitzy doing Spitzy things, isn't he really? Breaking footy's his specialty. The contest inside forward 50 from the Wodonga Bulldogs, they'd be happy with that. The quicker movement on the far side, the river side of the ground, they'd be really happy with that ball movement and a bit more. They're reacting to what Cora's thrown at them, which is what they need to do because the game is slowly getting out of hand. But that was a great response by Noah, and he's the guy that can spark this side.
Started with Colin Ainsworth switching the ball across the defensive 50. He's up to 5 disposals.
We haven't seen that for a while.
What's happening?
Encroachment. The old encroachment. And that's a free kick to Wodonga. I'll tell you what, Adam Schneider would like that on semi-final day when Matt Grossman ran in the square.
Oh, Panda.
Yeah, maybe too early.
Yeah.
Sorry, Schneids.
Come on, mate.
Venturoni goes out wide looking for Hudson Garoni. Picked up by Greenhill. Garoni gets it back at half-back. He's the link-up player at the moment. Look at that delivery into his mate Spiteri, who's starting to get on top of Geordie Ayres in that matchup. And Spiteri will line up for 2 in a minute. This will take his best effort, 52-53 out, right up against the junction of the 50 and the boundary.
We're talking about duos that can do some real damage. If Huddy Garoni and Spitzy get going, they can be formidable in that side that forward 50 for the Wodonga Footy Club.
So as I said, it'll take his best effort. Kick on the way from Spiteri is a little bit shallow. He got the distance and it's through for 1- score. And the margin is back to 8 points. 6-3-39 the Dogs. The Roos 7-5-47. For Blacklocks Lavington, we've played 17 minutes second term.
Longmire from fullback. That's Tom. Into the pocket finds Elijah Amory. For Cora Rutherglen. Chiselling ball. Dangerous one onto the chest of Purcell. He marks strong out in front for Cora Rutherglen.
We've got a Deegan and a Deacon playing today.
Correct. And this one is Purcell. Deegan, long down the line. Emmett Naldy flew a bit high. Charlie Morrison intercepted for the Dogs. Wants to play on. The captain up towards half forward. Forrest flies. Couldn't quite impact. As Garoni marks here for Wodonga. Plays on inside 50. Spiteri leads. Well done, Ayres. Just impacted the contest enough to see it out of bounds for a boundary throw-in.
Just an injury update, fellas. Harry McKimmie's done for the day. Shoulders in ice.
Wonder if it's an impact injury or if it's an AC joint, Bobby.
I reckon it might have been that contest on the far side that you guys called early in the game.
Boundary throw-in. Deep in the Dogs attacking 50. There's a whistle. And is that a free to Garoni for a hold in the ruck contest? I think it is. Yep. It's going to go to the big boy Huddy. He's doing that Tommy Hawkins role inside 50, Bobby J.
His roles have changed. It looks like Spitzy's gone a little bit deeper and Huddy's coming out across half forward to provide a target up there just to mix things up. But how spoiled are we? How good are we to see these two power forwards in action on the second day of the season in pristine conditions on a super Saturday? We're spoilt, boys. Dead set spoilt.
So KB's kicked 5. Huddy's kicked 1. He'll kick from 30 out, slide angle. Hudson Garoni. Oh, he's hooked it. No, he hasn't. It's worked its way back beautifully. And Hudson's got 2, slowly catching KB. And the Dogs bring the margin back to just 2 points. 7-3, plays 7-5. David Wink for 40 Winks.
Ainsworth, Spiteri and Jack O'Sullivan all have 5 disposals each for the Wodonga Bulldogs in this second term. They're up to 7 inside 50s, really dominating and getting their running game going, which is opening up those opportunities in the forward 50.
Good old-fashioned shootout here, Bobby J, for the Newmarket.
It's what we asked for, Bobby boy.
We said the big boys are going to kick 10. Well, they're on target for nearly 20. How are we going, lads? Where are we?
So into the ruck is going to be Venturoni and Deacon Clancy. Call it a 0-0 draw in that ruck contest. Ball at ground level, spills out the back. Venturoni fed it to Bradshaw. Bradshaw kicks out wide to the wing. He's searching for Cassidy. Gets there on the mark. Jet plays on the right boot. Too much for his brother. Over the top. Sits nicely for Hudson Garoni. Feeds it back to Cassidy. Chipping into the pocket and the Bros link up.
That's better ball movement by the Wodonga Bulldogs, isn't it? Right from the centre bounce, worked it out beautifully, and nice clean footy. And I reckon that's what the coaching staff will be screaming for. Once they get clean footy inside that forward 50, they've got some real dangerous targets in Garoni. This young fella showed signs last year in Cassidy and in Spitzy as well. So they've got some real firepower in that forward 50 if they get some clean footy in there.
So Jet Cassidy will start his approach outside the field of play. Pretty tight angle. Right foot kick. Looks okay. It's across the face to the left-hand side for a minor score. Margin sits at a point. The Roos currently lead thanks to CMV Truck and Bus as we enter 21 minutes played for NZ.
How many times did we speak to Jack O'Sullivan after games last year and he said we butchered it? Our ball use was poor, Bobby. Well, it looks like they've fixed that over the off-season.
Yeah, they certainly have.
Helps when you've got a big key forward to kick it to as well as Tommy Longby rebounds outside 50, goes to centre wing. Good contest. Chandler wins it at ground level. Oh, they're on here. They got the overlap. Oh, Purcell could have been absolutely crunched. He was running inside 50 with no eyes on the Sharon, and Charlie Morrison takes a wonderful intercept mark.
That was a big decision to make, wasn't it? He made the right one in the end. That was fantastic work by the Bulldog skipper.
He just looked up at the last second, I reckon, young Purcell, and saw that he was going to get absolutely crunched.
I would too.
100%. No shame in that whatsoever.
I've got a question for you, Gus.
Yes,
with
Bobby?
With Venturoni now rucking in the middle of the ground, has he got an advantage because he's got 3 wheels, or is it a disadvantage?
I think it's an advantage.
Even 1 point here. Roos 77-5-47 to the Dogs, 7-4-46. Garoni with 2, KB with 5.
Ray Murphy's been pinged for a legal disposal here, I think.
Leave the People's Champ alone.
Yep. In the hands of Bradshaw.
Oh,
nice work here to Jorgensen. Searching handball. Bit too much on it. Parker Fox got some work to do. Richardson can't quite get there. Feeds it back to Jack O'Sullivan. Inside 50, Spitzy with space. Marks out in front of Geordie Ayres, and he'll kick from a similar range to where his last shot was, Bobby J. 45 metres out, tough angle.
As we spoke about in that previous passage, getting clean footy is the big winner for Wodonga this year. If they can start getting some real clean footy and protect the football a little bit better, opportunities to kick bigger scores are going to be presented for them, and there's no more evident than the last 4 or 5 minutes.
So Noah Spitzy looking at his third here. Measured approach. Kick looks pretty good. I reckon it's got the legs. It's across the face. In fact, it stays inside the field of play. Korowa via Noah Amory. Breakaway. Handballing over the top. It's Jordan Ayres.
Geordie Ayres goes long down the far wing. Richardson up against Wilson. Richardson has worn his number all day, but Wilson was up to the challenge. Gets a 1-2 on centre wing. Not a great looking kick, but it lands in the laps of Hudson Garoni, who marks unopposed. Links up by hand to Jorgensen. Allows the ball to hit the ground. Snap on goal from Jorgie is across the face. For a point. They look dangerous on the rebound. Did the Dogs then, and their ball use has been good today. And scores are level here at the John Ford Oval on Easter Saturday. 47 apiece, 23 played for NZ. Second term for Blacklocks in Lavington.
Ray Murphy's got it at centre half back, and he finds Will Chandler. What about Will Chandler's numbers thanks to 40 Winks, David?
Number 13 for Will.
And it's a brilliant kick to the middle of the ground. McCarthy played on him, but he evaded the tackle. Plays on with a torpedo punt. Bradkey's at the back of the stoppage. He got a good bounce. Bradkey and Morrison. Morrison stands up. Tackle out the back of the contest, trying to find Burke. The Dogs survive a scare. Exiting D50 was Ruben, and he finds Ollie Greenhill.
How good, Bobby J, has Ruben Burke played today?
He's Robin to Charlie Morrison's Batman, isn't he, really? Those two guys down back have looked after each other a bit today. It's been fantastic.
Clark Kent and Lois Lane, you reckon, Bobby J?
Oh, yeah.
Sullivan, leave the jokes to Bobby J. Panda. O'Sullivan into the pocket looking for Spitzy. Geordie Ayres won that important contest. Spitzy was good at ground level, then dropped the footy. Should have been holding the ball. Free kick to Cody Shutt. It dribbles towards the top of the goal square. Garoni did to get one high. Umpire says, give it to me. Ball up. Brilliant Easter Saturday football here on O&M Live 2AY. Here's Gus McLeod for Border Bandag.
7-5 apiece. Scores are locked after 25 minutes. Deep into attack for the Dogs. Spitzy applies a strong tackle on Jordan Ayres.
Bobby J has 20 Oz kickers around him. You want to interview one of them, Bobby J, going on the ground soon.
You looking forward to your game, mate?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Should have another ball up here, top of the goal square. Tom Forrest got a bit of an elbow to the back of the melon there. and he looks a little bit sore. Someone's alarm's going off. What's that, Bob? First leg of the quaddie.
Eye drops.
Up goes Garoni, won the contest, spills out towards Will Axelby, who's been busy for the Roos. Kicking long down the line, working hard is Greenhill, keeps it alive for Wodonga. Retreats, finds Burke from a standing start, kicks long down the line. Oh, good hands. Flying across the contest was Jai Hymas. Impacting here for Wodonga now inside forward 50. Oh, good hands. Hudson Garoni, that's why Wodonga got him back to the club. He can have a shot to put the Dogs back in front.
How good is this, Bobby?
Oh, this is so... We're spoiled. You know, contested marks. How many's that for Huddy Garoni inside 50? As the siren goes, I'll just work to grab Jared Twid here at half-time too, lads.
I reckon it'll be 5 marks inside 50 for Hudson Garoni so far.
If you don't know Winky, we just make it up on O&M Live.
That's what I did, Panda.
To give the Dogs a 6-point lead at the half-time break. 20 metres out, call it directly in front. Hudson Garoni has kicked his third. The Dogs lead by a goal here at half-time on O&M Live for CMV Truck and Bus. We're going to go to Bob Jackson very shortly with assistant or co-coach Jared Twid.
I've got Twiddy here now, mate. Jeez, it's a hot game of footy, mate.
Good, mate. How are you going?
I'm going okay. I'm glad to be at the footy. I'm glad I'm not playing, put it that way.
It has, mate. Like, their pressure is actually... We expected it, but... They're maintaining it. I think it's a bit of a battle. We've been sloppy in our exits. We're not really shifting them the way we wanted to. And yeah, we're sort of not pulling that 45. We need to be able to shift the lane, mate. And I think our forwards have good matchups in our favour when we can get them separated and get one-on-one. But it's a hot game. They're a good side.
You got your house in order in that second half of that quarter there where the Coral guys kicked 3 early goals and then you guys pinched the last 3 in that back half of the quarter. You got your house in order. Spitzy and Huddy have been a pretty powerful duo up forward.
Yeah, they are, mate. They'll be create headaches and create problems and ask questions all the time, which is all we want them to do. But yeah, I just felt our exit, like Charlie Morrison saved us a heap then, but we've just got to use the ball better from back there. We're not really using our exit structure isn't what we want at the moment.
Well done, mate. Best luck for the second half.
We'll take a break here on O&M Live. The Bulldogs currently lead by 6 points over the Roos on the CMV Truck and Bus scoreboard. It's O&M Live on 2AY, where you won't miss a thing.
SS&A, this is your place.
All right. I love you. Have a good shift.
The all-new Nissan Navara, built for the grid shift.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Whatever it looks like, with GoTAFE, you've got this. Get real skills for real jobs and careers right now. Search GoTAFE today.
The Ovens and Murray Football League is proudly sponsored by Opal. Thinking packaging? Discover Opal.
Shorty get inspired. How about that? How about that? This time, shorty get.
Explore where your new home begins. Discover our designs. Discover local land. Discover what's possible. Visit Sundancer Homes' new sales centre and showroom at 482 Kiowa Street, Albury.
I reckon I'll go mid. Carlton Drive 3.5. Embrace the mid.
No one celebrates life like you do. At Tobin Brothers Funerals, we're here to help you celebrate the life of your loved one, your own special way. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
This goes out to all the athletes, the fitness buffs, and the huff and puffs. On your marks, get set. Find your perfect fit at the athlete's foot.
Welcome back to 1494 2A1 on Snap Print Solutions TV. Halftime show is, of course, all thanks to Elders Rural here on O&M Live. Blake Penderescott with you. We've got David Dawson-Wink, Orbidonga's favourite small man, and Bob Jackson for the Newmarket Hotel. And we have a sensational game of football, gents, where the two key forwards, KB with 5 and Hudson Graney with 3, have 8 between them, Bobby.
They certainly do. We made predictions at the start of the day that we all were unanimous that they were going to kick 10 between them, and they're well and truly on their way now. And as you said, Carlton Bradley's had 5 shots on goal, and Huddy's also had 5 shots on goal with a couple that didn't make the distance. So, as I said in that second quarter, Winky, we're really, really spoilt to have 2 power forwards on such a great day, first round of the season. And as we look out here across the John Ford Over, every square metre is taken up with people having to kick the kick in a game of let's kick in front of us. So this is, we're spoilt with having 2 key forwards early doors.
We certainly are. Just repeating that score, Corowa 7-5-47, the Dogs 8-5-53. They hit the lead in that second quarter after the siren, actually, with a shot on goal from from Hudson Groney, who kicked his third. Winky, we might take this opportunity to take a look at some of the stat winners and stat leaders in that opening half for 40 Winks.
Yeah, so for the Roos, Will Chandler's been really impactful. He's had 13 touches, a lot of those in the front half. Jed Longmire's had 7. Will Axelby having 8 on his Roos debut. Raven Joel of 6. Tommy McCaffrey with 9. Tommy Longmire had the 8 down back. And then for the Bulldogs, Jack O'Sullivan leads the way with 11. Adam Jorgensen with 10. Matty Wilson and Noah Bradshaw with 8 apiece. Spitter with 8 as well. And then Colin Ainsworth has had 7.
Might give us some of the team stats as well, if you can, Winky. Who are some of the, what team is on top in a certain area, please?
Well, marks inside 50 is the one where there's the most difference, Panda. Roos have only had the 4. And with Hudson Groney down there, the Bulldogs have had 10 marks inside their forward 50 from 22 entries. That's
an incredible stat, considering the Dogs only averaged 10 marks inside 50, 12 marks inside 50 for the year last year. So they've already got 10.5, Bobby.
Yeah, and that's off the back of Jared obviously saying half-time he's not real happy with the disposal and the cleanliness. But in that second half of that quarter, I reckon they really, I believe that they really picked up that cleanliness. And you mentioned in your call as well that we noticed a lot of clean football moving forward for the Wodonga Bulldogs. And they're reaping the rewards of some marks inside 50. So they had 8 shots on goal that quarter, Wodonga. So they'll be ruining the opportunities of not actually extending the lead that they do have at the moment.
What did you make of the half of Noah Spitzy, who was really quiet in the first 15 minutes of the game? Then he got a free kick and a 50, and his shot on goal would have been from 55 metres, Bobby, and into the breeze. He probably wouldn't have made the distance. He's up against an opponent, Geordie Ayres, who has kept him goalless on a number of occasions. felt like he just got a little bit of confidence with that 50-metre march to the goal square.
And we all know it's the last player you want to give any sort of confidence to. And he was electric in that second quarter when the Bulldogs got up and running. And he's had 4 shots on goal in a blink of an eye. He didn't touch the footy for 20 odd minutes in the first quarter. As you said, an ill-disciplined mistake, and now he's off and running. He's really, really dangerous. And he played a little bit deeper that back half, that second quarter, and allowed Huddy Garoni to float up, and that threw a bit of a spanner in the works for the defensive unit for the Coro Roos. But Spitzy, he's an excitement machine. You don't give him any opportunity to get into a game if you've got him on the rack.
One thing we didn't really speak about too much in any of our pre-season predictions or podcasts was the role of the third tall for Wodonga being young Jai Hymas. And, Winky, we've spoken about him a bit in this broadcast so far, but he looks a really good size. He'd be, 6'1", 6'2". He's a lightly built frame, but he will build into that body. And someone with a fair bit of talent, GWS VFL listed, and he kicked 2 goals in the opening quarter.
Similar to he's probably a little bit leaner, but similar to Ruben Burke from probably 12 months ago, where he had that raw athleticism and the hands are real sticky, and he just might not do it for a full 4 quarters, but he'll pop up and take a big pack mark, and you go, oh, who's this kid?
Real unassuming, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, and we've seen what Ruben's done today. I think he's nearly been Wodonga's best player across half back, but Jai's got all the talent. At his disposal, and those big sticky hands are going to hold him in good stead.
Just on Ruben Burke there, Jared mentioned at half-time that Charlie saved the Bulldogs on a couple of occasions. I don't think in previous times that Charlie wouldn't have had the confidence to do that, but now knowing that the Ruben's up and running and playing a real vital role across half-back, he can do that with super confidence, knowing that he's got a Lois Lane next to Superman.
Absolutely. That's the number one duo, isn't it? Lois Lane and Superman. I tell you what, I do remember vividly on the Wodonga pre-season podcast, Jared Twitt talking up the fact that Ruben Burke was going to play in defence. That's his home. That's where he played all his juniors, his year with the Murray Bushranger, and gee whiz, they would have loved him floating across half-back last year, Bobby, and intercepting like he's done. I think we got him down for maybe 4 intercept marks, Winky, in the first half.
Yeah, out of 7 for the Dogs.
So he looks fantastic, and I can't help but think that with footage and vision so available to VFL clubs, this could be the last time we see Ruben Burke for, this year. This might be his last year for the Wodonga Bulldogs. Full time before he gets snaffled up by a VFL club.
Correct me if we're wrong, but I reckon I interviewed him after the Yarrawonga game maybe last year, where we sort of probed a little bit into his future, and he really emphasised that he wanted to spend another year with Wodonga and just to develop and get stronger and work on his game, and then he'll look at avenues further down the track. I think he's a highly intelligent young man, so I think he's got education on his mind, but he's really playing some serious football. And a settled season in a competition like the Ovens and Murray might give him that springboard to go into VFL programs.
I don't think he'd have to look too far for an opportunity.
No.
Yeah, 100%. Let's talk about KB. 4 goals in the opening quarter, 1 in that second quarter, so he's kept a little bit quiet, but he's kicked 5.5 of footy, 5 of Cora Rutherglen's 7. Jed Longmire has the other 2, and Charlie Morrison hasn't done much wrong. The delivery inside 50 has been splendid to Caelan Bradkey.
There's been a couple of broken play goals where KB's pounced on it, and I think Charlie's probably cut that down in that second quarter. He's a quality. He's only had 6 touches, but 5 goals from 6 touches. That's what you want from your big boy down forward. So I think with the defensive structures that Wodonga's trying to put in place, I'll try and shut that down. But gee whiz, good luck playing on him if they get some free foot inside that forward 50.
And, he won the Doug Strang medal last year with 62 with a side that probably didn't bat as deep in the midfield. So you can imagine, if he can get this sort of supply for even half of the season, what sort of damage he can do from a goal sense. Cora's biggest challenge, I feel, is trying to find other avenues to goal.
They've got some real class through that midfield, Cora, and you're exactly right. You don't want to waste that class through midfield knowing that you haven't got that much. I think Jed Longmire spent a fair bit of time in that forward 50, so he might have to pinch it down there to help out KB just to take some focus off him.
Will Chandler's one that I think they'll be hoping to try and get that 15 to 25 goal if he can sort of fit in that region. They need to find some players to kick sort of up towards that 20 goals to go along with KB, because as I mentioned earlier, Darcy Hope was their second highest goal scorer and he played 6 games.
A-grade netball update for Ray White Wodonga. Cora Rutherglen 24, trailing Wodonga 28 in the A-grade netball. Yesterday, the Wang Magpies 51 over Wang Rovers 34 and North Albury 41 over Lavington 30. That A-grade netball update, all thanks to Ray White Wodonga. There is one game of AFL happening later on this afternoon. It is the Richmond Tigers up against Port Adelaide around the grounds for Mr. Stowe's Pool World. Might just hone in on this VFL game. Werribee 46 lost to Geelong VFL 90, and there were 3 Ovens and Murray players running around in this game. Jack Costello on debut for the Geelong Footy Club with the 3rd highest disposals for Geelong, 22 disposals. Nice. Young Jack Costello. Nick Newton also played in that game for Werribee, picking up 17 touches. And also Foster Gardner for Werribee played in that game with 7 disposals as well. So a bit of Ovens and Murray talent on show there around the grounds for Mr. Stowe's Pull Well, Bobby J.
Oh, go well, boys. We're so proud that they're representing our competition, and what they're doing is open opportunities for what we just spoke about. Players like Ruben Burke. Once if these guys go down and do really, really well, then this is becoming a pool of talent for AFL footy clubs. And we saw a couple of defenders last night. I think Jason McQuaid. He's a quality defender, and I can't see how he's not getting a game down in Melbourne at some time soon. And we've got so many good players around the competition, and you've only got to see today what sort of quality we got floating around.
And from what we saw last night, I don't think it'll be too long before Dave Laverty's called up the Collingwood side. He was unbelievable last night, especially in that first half.
Yep,
he certainly was. Nathan Cooper had to go and do the job on him. He was pretty good after that. Now, Bobby, before we go to the break, halftime show for Elders Rural, the Wodonga Bulldogs have stayed on the ground for half time.
Yeah, it is quite warm outside. It's still about 20.
In the shade,
it's 25 degrees. So they're sitting outside just to the right of the commentary box underneath the shade of the gum trees, which is, it is quite cool in the shade, and yet sometimes you can get a little bit stuffy, as we know in this commentary box. I think Gus McLeod's down to a weight where he's riding a horse in Royal Randwick later on today, so it is quite warm out here.
We'll take a break. A half-time done and dusted for Elders Rural. The second half on the other side of this. Both teams are out on the ground, the umpires as well. Third quarter on the other side of this. It's O&M Live. The Dogs by 6 points, and on O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
SS&A, this is your place.
All right. I love you. Have a good shift.
The all-new Nissan Navara, built for the grid shift.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Whatever it looks like, with GoTAFE, you've got this. Get real skills for real jobs and careers right now. Search GoTAFE today.
The Ovens and Murray Football League is proudly sponsored by Opal. Thinking packaging? Discover Opal.
Shorty get inspired. How about that? How about that? This time, shorty get.
Explore where your new home begins. Discover our designs. Discover local land. Discover what's possible. Visit Sundancer Homes' new sales centre and showroom at 482 Kiowa Street, Albury.
I reckon I'll go mid. Carlton Dry 3.5. Embrace the mid.
No one celebrates life like you do. At Tobin Brothers Funerals, we're here to help you celebrate the life of your loved one, your own special way. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
This goes out to all the athletes, the fitness buffs, and the huff and puffs. On your marks, get set. Find your perfect fit at the athlete's foot.
Third quarter about to get underway here for Wiesners on 2A Wires O&M Live. The Dogs by 7 points, so the scoreboard was a little wrong. They lead 8-6-54 to Corowa 7-5-47, and we're underway again. Jed Longmire with 2 goals in the first half. With the first clearance, kicks it to half forward. Amory and also Riekemann in a tussle. Ainsworth did well to Bradshaw. Tom O'Sullivan in the middle of the ground. That was clever from Charlie St John just to hold up Tommy O'Sullivan on the mark. He lowers the eyes, looking for Garoni. Over his head, Spitzy's dangerous. Dazzles around one, snaps on goal. It's marked in the top of the goal square by Cody Shutt, intercepting for Cora Rutherglen.
It is the problem when you've got so much pace running the wrong way. Takes a lot of momentum to get the Sharon going back in the direction of the goals. He looks dangerous. Here's Pickle Rick down the line. Big Clance out in front. Did he get taken high?
Yep.
Umpire didn't see it that way. Jack O'Sullivan throws it on the right to centre half forward. Oh, beautiful kick inside 50. Gill's marked 40 from home, directly in front.
Yeah, Jack O'Sullivan just kicked the space there beautifully, anticipating some of his teammates to run into that space, and Riley Gill coming from, I reckon he's playing on a high forward or a wing position, so he read that beautifully, and he's having a shot from just inside the 50. This will take every bit he's got.
Just keep tabs, Bobby J. Ray Murphy's gone into the trainers' rooms underneath the broadcast box here. So just keep tabs on what's going on with Razor Ray.
Yep.
Bobby had no idea.
He snuck off.
Snuck off quickly, didn't he?
So Riley Gill to extend the margin to 13 points here for the Dogs. It'll be a game-high lead for them. In comes Riley Gill. I reckon he likes it. It's through the middle. Sunjan goal today from the Dogs. Dream start to the third term for Inspirations Paint. They move to 8-6. Corowa 7-5, and we've played 2 minutes for NZ.
Jack O'Sullivan up to the 12 disposals, but I reckon each and every so highly regarded, and why would Onga want him back fully fit, because he's such a damaging midfielder in this comp.
He certainly is. Just want to see a full 18 games out of Jack O'Sullivan. I remember him representing the Goulburn Valley at the Albury Sports Ground against the Ovens and Murray, and he was spectacular that day.
Looks really fit, doesn't he, Panda?
So 9-6-60 the Dogs. Cora Rutherglen 7-5-47. They've kicked the last 4 goals of the game. Have the Wodonga Bulldogs. Soroczynski. Feign to go out really wide. Short kick, finds Jorgensen. Good jukes, an elite body and paint marker that in towards
friendly
young
fire.
Hymus, and I think Cassidy tried to take the same Sharon then and knocked each other over.
How good was Adam Jorgensen's hands then?
Like a vice. And a ball up on the edge of the 50. Jorgensen trying to get that stoppage. Wilson picks it up on the Jack O'Sullivan. No look hand pass to Gill. Brought down and a big tackle from Axelby. A great tackle by the young Roo on debut, and he wins the free kick in the back pocket for the Roos.
There's a tongue twister, Panda, the young Roo on debut.
Nailed it somehow.
Axelby, what are his numbers for 40 Winks?
This will be number 9.
Long down the broadcast side wing. Murphy's going to be the flyer.
He's back on the ground.
Ruben Burke, he's been everywhere today. I reckon the Dog's best. He tries to centre the ball to Bradshaw. Taken high was Jed Longmire. Umpire found the free kick. It's going to go the way of Jed.
Oh, he's going to reverse it.
Oh, I thought he was going to reverse it. Longmire gets away with one.
Lucky.
Jed. Chiseling ball out wide. Liam McCarthy left it, but it just wasn't on. Joe Hansen thought he was going to get it. O'Sullivan, handballs over the top, hit in hope, shut, paddles it trying to find Murphy, breaking away is Bradshaw. O'Sullivan, Tom, gets it from Jack, now finds the right boot inside 50. Spiteri on the lead, couldn't quite hit him. And a breakdown in communication saves the Corrigan Roos boundary throw-in front of the Inspiration Paint scoreboard, Bobby J.
Geez, hasn't Jack O'Sullivan come to play in the second half? Geez, he's been influential in his first 4 minutes of the quarter.
5 disposals already in this third term.
That's 2 disposals a minute for Jack O'Sullivan. We've only played 3 and a bit. Sorochinski, top of the goal square. Where's Garoni? There's Cassidy instead. Jet Cassidy out-muscled his opponent, Longmire, the bigger opponent. He's got all the talent in the world, this kid, Jet, and he will line up on a slightish angle, 15 out.
Geez, they look sharp. Sorochinski's got some real influence on that wing on the far side. He's had 3 or 4 real important touches in this quarter. You know, Bradshaw's been really important in that defensive role through the middle there as well. He's stopped a couple of plays that could have opened up the ground for Korowa, but they've come to play early on, the Wodonga Bulldogs.
Had all the running in this third quarter for Wiesners. This to extend the margin out to 19 points and 5 on the bounce for the Dogs. Makes no mistake, Jet Cassidy. And they have kicked 5 in a row. They trailed by 15 points at the 15th minute mark of the second quarter, and they now lead by 19, Winky.
They certainly do, Panda. 4 inside 50s in the first 4 minutes of this quarter. Couple of goals, but some real effective kicks going inside 50. They're not just blazing the ball away, hitting targets each and every time.
Looks like Emmett Northey's gone back into the ruck to try and get first hands on the footy, Bobby J, for the Newmarket.
He's been the one that's dominated every time he's been in that centre bounce, so they've pulled the youngster into the middle, and let's see what he goes.
Is he on low game time?
I reckon he would be. I reckon they're just easing
55%, yep.
Emmett Northey in the ruck. He leaps over the top, brought it down to his own advantage. Handball just wasn't quite online. The Dogs are going to break away. Noah Bradshaw has been injected to the middle. Northey does some follow-up work, left it behind, so too did Bradshaw. At bootlace level, hands and knees, Northey feeds it to Longmire. Bit of a scrap here as it pinballs around. McCarthy held without it. Umpire said play on. Jorgensen was clean in traffic. On to Jack O'Sullivan, inside 50, Spiteri.
Wow.
Tenacious hunt on the footy, never give in attitude, and now it's in the hands of their most dangerous small.
2 key words there, Jorgensen and O'Sullivan. How clean were both those guys, right in the heat, right in the clinch, right in the stoppage there, and the delivery by the coach on his left foot to Noah Spiteri was first class. And we're starting to see glimpses of this guy. He's fit and he's firing and he's in the middle. O'Sullivan.
Noah Spiteri for the 6th consecutive goal for Wodonga. In comes Spitzy, Murray River, and Noah has got it. 3 goals for Spitzy, 11 for the Dogs. They're starting to break away. Alarm bells going off in the Korowa coach's box.
What's the move, boys? What do we think that the Roos can do? What options do they have to sort of halt this momentum?
I'd be putting Jackson Richardson on Jack O'Sullivan right about now, because how many touches has he had in the third quarter for Wiesners, Winky?
6 already, and I reckon 3 or 4 of those have been inside 50 kicks too.
Korowa just not clean enough for mine. Wodonga are capitalising and they're making the most of ball in hand, and Korowa are just fumbling and turning it over.
I reckon Kreza heard you. Looks like Richardson's...
McCaffrey's gone to Sullivan.
Yeah.
Northey with another ruck contest, and Big Thompson was clean. He got bumped heavily from KB and he got straight back up. Greenhill kicks it to half forward. Isaac Cassidy overruns the football. Shut on hands and knees. Right, Jack O'Sullivan down for another one. Into the pocket looking for Spitzy, who's really clever and dangerous in these positions. Always keeps the ball alive and wins a free kick. He's starting to win that matchup on Geordie Ayres. Plays on straight away into the pocket. Marking is Jorgensen. Jorgensen, O'Sullivan, Spiteri, take your pick. Dogs lining up for 7 in a row.
O'Sullivan's having a massive impact on this game right now, and he's bringing the good plays into it. Spiteri, Jorgensen, they're all following their coach at the moment, and they're dangerous. They look really dangerous moving forward now.
So Adam Jorgensen has already kicked 1. And a 50. Oh, no. So what was going to be a tough shot up against the paint, 30 out, is now a certainty from the top of the goal square. And this will be 7 in a row for the Wodonga Bulldogs. I can only think that has to be for mouthing off. And Jorgensen kicks his second and extends the margin to 31 points. 12-6-78 to Korowa, 7-5-47. Alarm bells for Inspirations Paint and Korowa.
4th 50-metre penalty against the Roos today. Undisciplined. You just can't allow him, especially...
There's no need for any mouthing off there. It was a marking play. I'm not sure what that was for.
I'm wondering if it was mouthing off, Bob, or whether it was potentially what was the word that was used heavily in the AFL 2 years ago?
Discretion?
Well, I suppose, yeah, who knows, because it didn't even look like you could pin a player that was mouthing off.
There was no one doing anything. It was just a stop play.
Remarkable. Back in the middle, Corowa must respond. Simple as that.
Jeez, I like this Northley, boys. Jeez, he looks impressive in that centre bounce.
He certainly does. He's flying over the top and having a crack.
How old is he, Gussie?
16.
Wow.
And again,
looks to be a talent. Jorgensen sharked it, feeds it onto Tom O'Sullivan. The Dogs look impressive. Inside 50, Garoni and Longmire. Longmire and Garoni. Give it to Longmire. Handball's looking for grass. Clever work from Tom.
We don't play that here in the Ovens and Murray, Huddy.
I reckon Tom learnt that rule, and Huddy yet to pick up on it. 78 plays, 40.
Lavington and North Albury, where Labby put 8 in a row on the bounce of North Albury, and Wodonga have kicked 7 in a row here. Northy's kicking in the middle of the ground. Laver's brought down at a big tackle. They're hunting in packs here are the Dogs. Ainsworth gets around one. Onto Venturoni. Shallow kick inside looking for Jet Cassidy. Did he impede? Shut on the mark. Forrest thought he was grabbed high. Pressure really up here from the Dogs to start this third quarter. Jorgensen tries to keep the footy in play, but he spills it over the line. And it goes out of bounds at half forward here for Wodonga. How many for Adam Jorgensen in this third quarter, Winky?
3 for Jorgensen, 13 for the game.
He has been on fire, especially around the stoppages, Bobby Joe, for the Newmarket.
Certainly does. He looks really, really good.
31-point lead thanks to Wiesness here on O&M Live. The Dogs lead the Roos. O'Sullivan, I reckon he got prior opportunity. No, umpire Llewellyn says no. So a ball of footy up right in front of our broadcast position. Slightly into attack towards the Dogs. Venturoni went up uncontested, fed it on to Gill. Gill switches, retreats, and he finds Soroczynski 55 from home. Matt Soroczynski into the pocket on the lead, Garoni. It was almost telegraphed, Bobby J, but Corowa were just chasing.
They're really good from the stoppage. Yeah, Three Wheels had a really good tap down to the midfielders and the move from Sorok. He's been really good, Matt Soroczynski on the wing, and the disposal to Hudson Graney out in front. This will test him. Hudson's struggled for distance today in his kicking, so this will test him big time.
We know he was carrying a potential ankle injury, and whether it's his landing leg or his kicking leg, nonetheless, ankles are certainly hard to kick big ones from downtown. I've got Huddy for 3, Panda.
Yep, same.
Shooting in his 4th. Murray River End strikes it nicely. Good connection, but it's across the face. It's a minor score. So 32 points to lead here on O&M Live, favouring the Dogs here in the third term thanks to Wiesners.
So if you've just joined us, Cora led by 15 halfway through the second quarter. They now trail by 32 points. Wodonga 7 unanswered. They're playing expressive, fast footy. McCaffrey marks on centre wing, and that's a reversal on Will Chandler. I thought that was a bit soft.
Yeah, I reckon Greenhill come at Chandler there, and Chandler not overly impressed.
Yeah, he just made contact with him, and Greenhill went over. So undisciplined here from Corowa. They've given away 4 50s and a few reversals. Greenhill into the pocket. Forrest floats across in front and takes an intercept mark here for Corowa. Plays on straight away. Asks a lot of McCarthy. The ball bounced in front of him in the defensive goal square. He goes to a one-on-one at half-back. Hansen had to win that one-on-one, and he did on Venturoni. The Roos need 5 minutes just to settle things here. They trail by 32 points, 47-79 in the third quarter for Wiesners.
Nice kick from Hansen to centre half-back. He's found Jolliffe. Have we taken Pumba's numbers?
7 for Pumba.
On the 40-wing stat sheet, he comes out wide to Pickle Rick. Centre wing broadcast side. For the Colorado Glen Roos, here's Lavis. Normally a good user. I've put the Mozzer on him. He chips the ball down the line looking to find Richardson. Over the top was Greenhill. The Dogs have numbers. They're going to centre the ball dangerously. Bradshaw got work to do. He's got 2 Roos to beat. Now in the hands of Longmire. Over the top to Curry. Breaks away. Kicks a much-needed goal. It's hit the post. Angus Curry's just hit the post. He did everything right for Cora Glen. And it just went straight into the upright. Cora 7-7. The Bulldogs 12-7. Inspirations Paint scoreboard.
13 minutes played here for NZ. In the third quarter for Wiesners. Panda and Gus with you for Border Bandag. Winky on the 40-wing stat sheet, and Bobby on the boundary for the best pub in Australia. The world, in fact, the Newmarket Hotel. A dangerous switch across goals. Bradshaw onto Morrison. No look hand pass back to Bradshaw. Running out of defence for the Dogs. Kick to the Ovens River side of the ground. Gill and also Hanson in a one-on-one, and the boundary line wins out. Winky, who needs to lift for Corowa in this third quarter?
Well, Will actually one disposal. Tommy Longmire hasn't touched it this quarter. Tommy McCaffrey only the one. All the guys on the 40-wing stat sheet besides Will Chandler and Jed Longmire have one or no disposals for this third term.
Northerly winning the tap. He's been awesome today, Bobby J. I reckon this guy's got a big, bright future.
Oh, massive future. Just his ruck craft's been impressive today as well. Like, he's got the height advantage, but you've got to know what to do when you hand on the ball as well.
Would love to know why the Bushies...
How's that not a free kick in the ruck?
Talk us through that one, Panda.
He was grabbed without the football and ripped to the ground, and in the end it's going to be a Corowa free kick to Chandler.
So Chandler has impressed in his return to Corowa. Glenn, how many on the 40 wings, David?
This will be number 17.
Chandler plays on and kicks a shallow entry. Where's Bradkey? He's there. It spills out the back. Burke's been busy for Wodonga. Handball trying to find Nico Stevens. Ball's in dispute. Appeals for holding the ball. Umpire Brendan Llewellyn says, no, give it here. We'll ball the footy up. The Bulldogs 12-7-49. Corowa 7-6-48. We've played just under 15 for NZ.
Inspirations Paint scoreboard. Kick, fight out of the stoppage. Well done there by McCaffrey. Edging out his opponent, kicking a much-needed goal for Corowa. That came from nothing. A quick kick out of the stoppage. McCaffrey with great body work. Open goal, and gee whiz, Bobby, did Corowa need that?
They certainly do. He just worked Greenhill off the ball. Perfect time, little bump to get him out and can create some space for himself where the ball was bouncing into his own advantage, and much needed. They needed to stem the flow there. It was slow but surely getting out of control, and they need to get a couple in a row to put some pressure on them by three-quarter time.
Sometimes all you need is one of those ones that come out of nothing to stop the momentum and wrestle it back. So hopefully the Roos can kick a couple here before the three-quarter time siren and give us a close finish.
Margin's back to 25 points. You reckon if Corowa can go into three-quarter time with the margin under 20 or a little bit
around
closer?
3 goals.
Yeah, I reckon she's game on coming into the fourth and final quarter. Hot day on Easter Saturday here at the John Ford Oval in Corowa. Big crowd on the river. And hope you're enjoying today's coverage on 2AY or the live stream. Here's Chandler for the Roos, breaking away on the left, getting Corowa inside 50. They need a flyer. Out the back, Kalen Bradkey. Read it beautifully. He's going to have a look at his 6, Bobby J.
50.
Well, that's going to be his 6. He's going to get marked at the top of the goal square, and he'll pump this one into the Bowls Club. Kalen Bradkey. Corowa go back-to-back, and she's on in the middle, Bobby J. It's on in the guts.
A little bit of a Donnybrook happening there. Kalen Bradbury just protected the space beautifully, and there's nothing much Charlie Morrison could have done about that. That was a perfect kick from Will Chandler deep into the forward 50, and KB did the rest. I'm not sure what the 50 was for. It might have been a bit of indiscretion around the mark, but
someone got a whack, Bobby. I reckon.
Jetty Longmire got dropped afterwards.
Yeah, Charlie Morrison just absolutely poleaxed him.
It's unlike Charlie.
And unlike Jed.
Jed loves it.
So we've got a game on our hands here, Pan. A margin back to 19 points thanks to Wiesners.
2 in a minute in the blink of an eye for Corowa, just to stem the flow after the Dogs kicked 7 unanswered and led by 32 points. It's now back to 19 for Inspirations Paint. Stay with us here on O&M Live. A wonderful Easter Saturday clash. Chandler and Amory in the middle. Going in there was Clancy. He was clean. On to Curry. Overlapping hand pass to Pickle Rick Lavis. One of our favourites has got some wheels. He just burned his teammate inside forward 50. McCaffrey, who was all on his own. You heard the groans from Bobby. But Pickle Rick Lavis follows up his good work. Soccers it to himself. Has 10 minutes on his opponent. And we have a boundary throw in deep into the pocket. But he had McCaffrey on, Bobby J.
There's one speed with Pickle Rick, isn't it? It's flat chat.
Yep. 100 mile an hour with nitros as well from Pickle Rick Lavis. Boundary throw in, deep into attack for Corowa, who have kicked the last 2. Bradkey out of the ruck, onto Amory, the late inclusion. Purcell with a nifty little kick looking for Amory, but Bradshaw streams away for the Dogs off halfback.
Handball's inboard. Here comes a teammate in Ainsworth. Working his way into the contest was Thompson, the big ruckman on debut. Out towards the broadcast side. Jolliffe in a battle here with Hymas. Hymas and Jolliffe. Jolliffe, St John keeps it alive. No, out of bounds for a boundary throw. We go to Bob Jackson, Newmarket Hotel. Big Deacon Clancy on the massage table as he limped off the ground.
Yeah, he's got a knock to the outside of his left knee. Trainers are just working on it right now, right here in front of me. So he's just in a little bit of pain. Looks like he's got a bit of a knock to his lower left leg there.
We'll keep tabs on that one. In the meantime, back live. Shutt got it onto Pickle Rick Lavis, who goes on the left down the line to a one-on-one. Good use of the body from the Wodonga Bulldogs. Trying to have a crack there was Cassidy. Inboard Nico Stevens. The mark's being taken by Greenhill. Nice one-on-one battle there. And in the end, it's going to be in the hands of the co-captain, Ollie Greenhill.
Greenhill at half-back. He's going to go short to Nico Stevens, who dropped what he should have taken in the end. Good pressure from McCaffrey, and they forced the turnover. McCaffrey at half-forward, left foot kick to Bradkey. The Cora Rutherglen crowd cheering him on, and KB is lining up for 7. No, he passes it off. Oh, good option in the end. Finds Will Chandler in a pocket of space, and he will line up for 3 in 5 minutes for Corowa and to bring the margin back to 13 points.
They won't be happy with that with the Wodonga Bulldogs. A simple turnover here on the wing by Stevens, turning over to a clean entry inside 50, and KB just doing the team thing there, finding his buddy there, and Will Chandler 40 metres out with a little bit of left, a little bit right to left there, and this is to make the game back down to 13 points.
So Chandler would want to kick this, considering KB's kicked 6 straight. Look after your mate, Will. He's 30 metres out, slide angle. For 3 in a short period of time. Welcome back, Will Chandler. Cora crowd up and about. Game on here on Easter Saturday. Margin at 13 points.
It's 19 disposals and 1 goal, 2 for Will Chandler, but has been so effective and has stepped up when the Roos needed him the most there. Puts that one through the big sticks, Bobby J.
Yeah, they look dangerous when they move forward nice and quick, don't they?
We can hear that wind in our effects, Mike. Bobby, what's it doing at ground level?
I reckon it's blowing to the bridge end, the forward bridge end, boys. I think it's a little bit of advantage to the way Cora was kicking at the moment.
So from our broadcast position, straight across towards Waganya. Netball courts across to the river if you're playing along at home. Emmett Northey in the ruck up against Thompson. Thompson won that one down, but Chandler is there for the Roos. His kick was smothered off the boot. Jack O'Sullivan got it forward for the Dogs. Shallow entry. Oh, Forrest. I thought he got a good enough piece. That umpire said no, play on. Ball in dispute running towards the goals. Hymas head over the football. Well done from Jordan Ayres. Shovels it out to Axelby, and Axelby clears defensive lines for the Roos.
He does. Ball lands just at half-back. Big contest there out with Richardson and Wilson. Here's Matt Wilson. Marks the ball at half-forward. He says, boys, I'm going to settle this one down. How many for Matt Wilson, Winky?
This will be number 10 for Matt. Has been well held by Jackson Richardson.
He gets around 1 on the mark. Hand passes over the top to Jack O'Sullivan. Dummies around 1. Shows some candy and kicks a suntan goal today. Jack O'Sullivan showing all his class, the GV Morrison medalist. Steady sings from the Dogs, and the margin's back out to 19.
They needed a steadier, didn't they? And they called on the coach, who's had an outstanding quarter. He's really led from the front, with Matty Wilson getting a very important touch. He's been a little bit quiet this quarter, Matty Wilson, but to get involved there and be creative off the mark and bring his coach into play, who's had an outstanding quarter. 9
disposals in this third term alone, 20 for the game from Jack O'Sullivan. And it was with no... I just noticed when he run back on the ground that when Cora had all the momentum, Jack O'Sullivan was on the bench, so it doesn't surprise me at all. Now he's back out there, but I'm going to wrestle one back.
Back in the middle, Deacon Clancy, after getting some attention, has gone into the ruck. Here's a go for Curry, handballing over the top. Noah Amory in pursuit. He gives a don't argue to his own teammate, if you don't mind. Axelby, long down the line for the Roos. They need a flyer. No one there in the right coloured jumper. Nice mark taken from Matt Wilson, an elite body and paint mark of the day.
So Matty Wilson at half-back for the Dogs. Breaking a run of 3 on the trot for Corowa after the Dogs kick 7 straight to lead by 30-odd points. Margin back to 19. Favour of the Dogs for Wiesners. Jai Hymas getting up high, trying to impact that contest. Axelby, probably in the end happy, running over the boundary line, Bobby Jackson, because Corowa had the momentum then.
Yeah, a little bit of a dangerous throw there in the tackle as well, so there's a little bit of 50-50 there, so I think the right thing to do is throw it in, I think.
85-66, the Dogs lead an encounter that's ebbing and flowing for Wiesners as we hit the 23-minute mark for NZ. Inside 50, go Wodonga. Ayres was held without it. Umpire said play on. Longmire, this is Tom. Turn the ball over. Cassidy kicks from a standing start, and it's a minor score. So the Bulldogs move to 13-8-86. Corowa 10-6-66, 20-point ball game. Corowa will bring it back into play with Tom Forrest at the river end.
20-point ball game, as Gus McLeod just said there, for Blacklocks Lavington. We'll get a stats update soon from Winky for 40 Winks. Forrest with a clever kick in. Finds Shutt on the paint of the defensive 50 broadcast side. We've had once again a free-flowing third quarter. Shuts kicks pretty ordinary. And Tom O'Sullivan intercepts on centre wing for the Dogs. Short to Jorgensen. He's got an open 50. Cassidy led. Jorgensen's kick gives it straight back to Cody Shutt. They're waxing the opposite numbers, and Shutt rebounds out of defence, switches the footy to Longmire. Coro at 66, the Dogs 86.
How many for Tom on the 40 winks, David?
This will be number 10 for Tom. Has been solid down there.
Shutt, dangerous kick, or marking just. Is Axelby out in front. Bradshaw's worked his way into the game and spending more time on the ball.
Shuddy's given Kreza a few heart attacks, I think, when he's got the ball in his hands, Gussie.
I think so. Normally a pretty reliable kick. Axelby's kick not his best. Noah Amory fumbled, but he had to do a lot of work. The kick wasn't great. Turnover. Jack O'Sullivan for the Dogs. Inside 50. Tom Forrest. Elite body and paint mark of the day. He's a leaper. He's a flyer. And he could be the new coming of Lee Masters, Panda.
He certainly could be. You did call it as your breakout year player, Gussie. So we've talked a lot about the key forwards, Bobby, and we'll get back to you in a second as Pickle Rick Lavis runs that one over the line. We'll go to you now, Bobby. You've spoken a lot about Garoni and Bradkey, but what about the two young interceptors, Burke and Forrest?
I knew exactly where you're going with that, Panda. They've both been very, very impressive. Both similar builds, both big boppers, and they both love jumping at the footy. So they're really impressive, those two lads.
Time on here in the third quarter. 25 minutes played for NZ. The Dogs by 20. Is there a high free kick there? Umpire says no. Feel like Coro have had a couple go against him in this third quarter.
He's got three wheels, boys. That's why he got away with it.
Old Venturoni. There's a story behind that. We might tell it in post-game for the Clubhouse Bar and Bistro. Diving on the football and a free kick to Wodonga.
This umpire is... well, I'll save my thoughts, but you can make up what you want to think.
It was Curry who dived on the football, and Tommy O'Sullivan as a recipient of the free kick. Lead comes from Garoni. That's where it goes. Wasn't able to mark in the outstretching arms. Amory left the football behind. Bradshaw picks it up. Dummies around one. Goes by hand. Over the top to Jorgensen. Give it back to Jack O'Sullivan for two in the third quarter. Lining up the John Ford Oval is Jack O'Sullivan. Best player on the ground. He's kicked two and the margin's back out to 26 points.
You could just see the ball just drifting out into... I was watching Jack from behind the play. You could just see that he was just sniffing an opportunity, and he was, quality play. Just got in the right spot at the right time, and that was just classy finish. You guys would have had a perfect view up there. That was a brilliant finish.
15 inside, 50s to 4 in this third term. The Bulldogs have had all the momentum apart from that 3-4 minute patch where the Roos kicked a couple on the bounce, but this is some performance in this third term by Jack O'Sullivan. 11 disposals, 2 goals, absolutely on fire, leading from the front.
26 points is the margin, so all that hard work Corowa did has just been elapsed by Jack O'Sullivan and his Wodonga Bulldogs. Will ball the footy up in the middle once again. Deep into time on here, 26 minutes played thanks to NZ and Albury. Noah Amory having a crack, trying to bustle his way through. Will Chandler gets Corowa into attack. Inside forward 50. Longmire out in front. Nice strong mark taken by Jed. And this is probably Jed's most important kick of the day, Bob Jackson.
That's a massive understatement. Coro will need this just to steady the ship a little bit, to give themselves a little bit of an opportunity to make a run at it for a grandstand finish in this last quarter. The stage is set with this massive crowd for Coro to come home with a wet sail. They just need to get this through to give themselves sort of momentum going into three-quarter time.
Tommy Forrest just limped off holding his left hamstring, Bobby. Just watch that one.
So inside forward 50, Jed Longmire will start his approach. He'll kick from 35 metres, looking at his third. The co-captain, Bridge Road Ed, looks to be across the face. It's a minor score from Longmire.
Tommy Forrest is
back to 25 points.
I'm just watching Tommy Forrest gargle some pickle juice here, and is he going to swallow or spit? Is he a spit or a swallow?
I think you have cramps. I think you have to consume that for it to work. And there's a 50-metre free kick here. I'm not sure what for again.
Encroachment.
And Matty Wilson is going to be marched outside defensive 50. And he goes short. Finds Ruben Burke for the Dogs at halfback. Likewise to Soroczynski. So margin at 25 points. 92 plays 67 here on 2AY's O&M Live. Dogs up by 25. Gill left the football behind. Cassidy of the jet variety. Inboard kick. Turns it over directly to Will Chandler. Wants to find his left foot. Balks one way, then the other way. He's a star. Left foot kick inside forward 50 over the head of his teammate KB. Ruben Burke tracks it back for the Dogs, and he goes short to Morrison.
Morrison wants to switch and bring it out towards the club room side. The Dogs are on here as the ball goes towards Stevens. Across half back for Wodonga. Searching lead from Cassidy. Couldn't quite hang on to the mark. He beat Pickle Rick in a one-on-one battle as the siren sounds. 3/4 time at the John Ford Oval on the Inspirations Paint scoreboard. The Dogs lead 14-8-92. Corowa 10-7-67. Stay with us here on O&M Live. It's a big final term coming your way on 2AY and Snap Print Solutions O&M TV. You won't miss a thing here on O&M Live.
SS&A, this is your place.
All right. I love you. Have a good shift.
The all-new Nissan Navara, built for the grid shift.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Whatever it looks like, with GoTAFE, you've got this. Get real skills for real jobs and careers right now. Search GoTAFE today.
The Ovens and Murray Football League is proudly sponsored by Opal. Thinking packaging? Discover Opal.
Shorty get inspired. How about that? How about that? This time, shorty get.
Explore where your new home begins. Discover our designs. Discover local land. Discover what's possible. Visit Sundancer Homes' new sales centre and showroom at 482 Kiowa Street, Albury.
I reckon I'll go mid. Carlton Drive 3.5. Embrace the mid.
No one celebrates life like you do. At Tobin Brothers Funerals, we're here to help you celebrate the life of your loved one, your own special way. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
This goes out to all the athletes, the fitness buffs, and the huff and puffs. On your marks, get set. Find your perfect fit at the athlete's foot.
Welcome back to a big crowd here at the John Ford Oval. Easter Saturday football and netball back in the Ovens and Murray. And a safe lead for Wodonga at three-quarter time, 14-8-92 over Corrotherland, 10-7-67. A really entertaining game of football. I hope you're loving the coverage on 2OY and O&M Snapprint Solutions TV. 9 goals in that third quarter. So we'll head over to David Wink for the Atondo Homes quarters best in the third quarter.
Well, it's extremely hard to go past Jack O'Sullivan, isn't it, boys? 11 touches and 2 goals in that third term alone. 22 for the match for the Wodonga Bulldogs, really leading from the front. And that sort of 5-minute burst where Corrie got a little bit of momentum back and looked like they were fighting back was when Jack O'Sullivan was having a rest on the pine. So he dominated that third term. And then for the Roos, Will Chandler had 9 disposals in that third term. Really effective. And Jed Longmire playing a bit more forward. Thought he looked dangerous when the ball was going down inside 50 for the Roos.
Bob Jackson is loitering down below. Who you got your eyes on, Bobby J?
I've got eyes on Livo here. He's an assistant coach here at Corrot. I'll just grab him here. Livo, what's the message at three-quarter time to get back into this game, mate?
Yeah, look, we're turning the footy over way too much in spots where we shouldn't be, but the reality of it is the chances are there, mate. We've just got to take our chances when they come, and, you know, with no point caution the win now.
Just turning the ball over in dangerous spots through the middle of the ground, aren't you, really? Once you fix that up, it gives opportunity for KB and Longmire down forward.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you see there when the good ball users like Willie Chandler and those sorts of guys, when they get the footy, they hit. And we just need to get that deeper in there now. We know that, and that's what we're going to plan on doing, mate.
Thanks, mate. Best luck for last quarter.
Aaron Livermore there, assistant coach of Corrotherland.
Well done, Bobby J. He's the best at it down on the boundary, getting access to all the assistant coaches and the players. And a big thanks to all the clubs for being on board here on O&M Live. So, Gus McLeod, they're probably a goal in front of where Corrotherland would ideally like to be in terms of the margin with Wodonga. Are they a chance here in this last quarter to come from 25 points?
I think if anyone is, it's Corrotherland. They've shown in glimpses they can pile on goals and do it effectively. They just got to stop that relapse going back the other way. Bob, what I'm really keen for you to check out is positional changes. We know that Darren Creswell loves to throw the magnets around and get busy. Scotty Montgomery getting a couple of 40 wings disposals. But look for some positional changes here. I'm really keen to see what he does from a structural perspective here. Darren Creswell, he's going to throw the magnets around and get busy.
Yeah, nothing really stands out at the moment in that forward 50 for the Cora side. I'm just looking in the midfield.
Jolliff's gone on ball straight away on O'Sullivan.
You called that, Gussie. You said that was a matchup that could change things, and it's one from the first centre bounce that we're going to see.
And it looks like that tag on Matt Wilson has been dropped as well from Jackson Richardson. So all-out attack here for Corowa. That's what it needs to be in this fourth quarter. All thanks to the Great Outdoors. Hello to Churchy and the boys at the Great Outdoors. Great to have him on board, Gussie, in 2026.
He's a great man, Churchy.
That he is. Ball up. Clancy rose really high against Thompson. Little clever kick off the ground from Chandler. Finds 5 yards onto Amory, the late inclusion. Charlie St. John runs into a spot of bother. He's snapped though. Lands in the arms of Chandler, who plays on from 55. Ordinary old kick, but it might work all right here for Purcell. In fact, it rolls over the line for a point. And Coro will get the first score of the fourth quarter for the Great Outdoors. It's a minor. They go to 10-8 to Wodonga 14-8.
Just super clever, Will Chandler. Just a little touch in the stoppage in the middle of the ground and just floated forward into some space with no Wodonga player following him. So real clever, real smart. Could be the key for Cora to get this job done here in the last quarter.
92-68 on the Border Carpet scoreboard. The Dogs lead the Roos. Deep in defence are Wodonga. Out wide. Got the ball in the junction of the boundary line and the defensive 50. Nice kick there from Hymas. 1-2 link up comes from Soroczynski. Long down the line go the Dogs once again. Murray River side of the ground. Liam McCarthy dispossessed. Umpire said play on. Trying to keep it alive there was Longmire. On to Forrest. Now Charlie St. John. Long down the line on the non-preferred. Jed Longmire got a good piece. Left it behind. Elijah Amory picks up the crumbs. Feeds it to Charlie St. John. Over the top to Jolliffe. Jolliffe's handball missed the intended target. Elijah Amory's been busy. A couple of 40 winks there.
Oh!
Inside 50. Greenhill flew high. Dug the knee into the back of McCaffrey. Plays on quickly, and here come the Dogs with the coach.
I reckon that's the highest Ollie Greenhill's ever got in his life. Jack O'Sullivan with the run and carry. Kicks to half forward. Here's Spitzy. Balks one way, then the other. Geordie Ayres says you're not going anywhere. Tries to drill in with the big holding the ball tackle. Well done, Ayres. Spiteri tries to lay the tackle as Corrotherland win the footy back at half back. Here's Pickle Rick Lavis, who's been good today. Takes 2 bounces down the wing. Almost reckon he ran out of bounds. High up and under is intercepted by Ruben Burke, who takes his 5th intercept mark of the day, David Wink.
Oh, dangerous ball going back the other way. Longmire and Morrison. Morrison marked him and just gave Jed a bit of a sit down, Jed. In towards the corridor. Matt Wilson. How many on the 40 winks for Matt?
Number 13 for Matt.
Being quiet by his illustrious standards. Up to half forward. Forrest got there first. Linking up with a 1-2 with McCarthy. Incorrect disposal. Free kick to Hymas. Inside 50. Forrest and Garoni. In fact, it was Longmire and Garoni. And Garoni's marked the ball.
Well, Jacko Sullivan's
going on.
Has just decked Ray Murphy.
See, that was a free kick in the third term, so it's got me stuffed as to why that isn't, boys.
Maybe not everyone loves Roman, hey, Gussie?
Oh, Winky with some gold.
Winky, I love
You've
it.
been sitting on that one all game, haven't you? Look at him, he's so happy with himself.
Gus not so happy with it.
I didn't mind it. I thought it was a nice gag.
Was it written in Gus's book, was it?
I'm just more so concerned about what Hudson Garoni's going to do with this set shot. To the Bridge Road end, Hudson Garoni, dream start for the Dogs on the line, and he's got it. Hudson Garoni's kicked his 4th, and it's going to be tough for the Roos here. Bob Jackson, Newmarket Hotel, nice finish on their profile recruit.
Yeah, exactly right. Cora was throwing the kitchen sink at the Wodonga Bulldogs that first couple of minutes there, and to get that goal against the flow to a certain degree was a bit of a stomach blow, I suppose. But Wodonga Bulldogs, make no mistake. Hudson Garoni's a big key for them to moving forward and being pushing for September action.
Kicking 100 points didn't happen too often last year for the Wodonga Bulldogs, and they're very close here in round 1. Thanks to a new look forward line led by that man Hudson Garoni, who's kicked 4. Spitteri's got 3, Hymas with a couple, and Jacko Sullivan with a couple. Thompson leapt over Northey, then there's Matt Wilson out of the middle. Where's Garoni? There he is. Hudson Garoni. Spiteri left it for him, out of the goal square, and he'll line up for 5.
Clean footy out of the middle. That's unstoppable, even on in any sort of footy. That was, if Huddy gets 3 or 4 of those a game, then he'll be happy.
So directly in front, 30 metres out for 2 in 30 seconds for Hudson Garoni, and to put the result beyond doubt, you would expect at the 5th minute mark for NZ. If he kicks this, it'll be 36 points. Garoni makes no mistake. He's got 5. KB with 6, Garoni with 5. 11 between the two big boys, and the Dogs look home on Easter Saturday.
Well, we asked for a shootout in pre-game, and we've certainly got that, but the biggest stat, 17 marks inside forward 50 for the Wodonga Bulldogs. That is a huge number compared to all the other data we have, and I reckon Hudson Garoni's probably taken 6 of those. But just shows that their forward line is really in sync with each other and working well.
Yeah, I've got Huddy down for 6 inside 50s. I've been keeping those today for you. Winky.
Back in the middle.
Cop
Northey
that, Winky.
Doing some work in the ruck.
Make it up. Sometimes it's right, Blake.
Spills out now, trying to keep it alive, was McCaffrey. Working hard, Ray Murphy for Cora Rutherglen. Breaks away from this contest. Finds the right boot. Well-measured kick. Finds Lavis on centre wing, who held his width well. Lavis for Corowa. Inside 50. Not the best looking kick. Ruben Burke's been a star today, boys.
Yep.
Intercept mark after intercept mark. He has been superb. He's going to switch the ball out wide now and find his captain in Morrison.
Morrison goes short to Noah Bradshaw. Just feel like the sting's gone out of Cora Rutherglen just a little bit here, Bobby J. Boundary side for the Newie.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Those 2 goals from Garoni have really put a bit of a hole in their sail to come home with.
In saying that, though, they almost forced a turnover in the middle of the ground, and their tackle pressure's good. In fact, they do. Longmire picks it up at half forward. His hand pass will find Elijah Amory. Goes by hand to St John. Wants to find his right foot. Comes back in towards the middle of the ground. McCarthy runs one way, then the other way. Good pressure on the mark, and he turns it over the head of Axelby. Cassidy tries to take that mark and hits the deck, and we'll have a ball up right bank smack in the middle of the ground. David Wink, some 40-wink stats in this 4th term.
I haven't got anything for you, Blake.
Okay. What have you been doing for 7 minutes?
Well, just taking the numbers, but nothing standing out.
Up to half forward go the Dogs. McCarthy does well. Now St John into Axelby. Nice kick. Feeds it back out, finding his intended target in McCarthy. So Liam over the top. Nice 1-2 here, St John. He's worked his way into the game in the second half in his new colours. Interesting to note, his brother Brad St John's doing the running for Corowa today.
The shredder, Shred and Shred Jr.
Of course, coaching in the Hume League this year with Colt Can. Now it's in the hands of Angus Curry for Corowa. Plays on. Oh, don't argue to Soroczynski if you don't mind. Down the line, the kick wasn't great. They've sat one in front of KB most of the day, Bob Jackson, and I know KB's had his fair share, but Corowa's delivery to him hasn't always been superb.
No, it needs to be spot on if they're sagging back on him. So that pass was far from it. And Ollie Greenhill, who's been doing that his whole career, just slotted back and took an easy mark in front of KB.
We have to note that one of their big recruits, Isaac Twelftree, is not playing today for Corowa, who we expect to be the second fiddle in that forward line. They've really missed him. There's a free kick off the ball here, and it's going to go the way of Cassidy. No, Cody Shutt. The umpire pointed the wrong way. Yep, so it's a free kick to Cody Shutt on the far wing. Everything needs to be spot on here for Corowa. They trail by 36 points at the 8th minute mark for NZ. Looking for Ray Murphy over his head. O'Sullivan onto O'Sullivan. Now Jack with it, delivering to Garoni, who's found a pocket of space inside forward 50, and Garoni will just pop it over the top here to Jack O'Sullivan, who just continued to run on. No one tracked after him, and that's lazy, Bob Jackson, for the Newmarket.
How good is it to see this guy fully fit? You know, he's had a horrid run since he's been in the O&M, and hopefully this is just a sign of things to come. He's a star. Absolutely put his club on his back at half-time and just made a real impact in that middle of the ground, that second half, that third quarter, and it's just gone on from there.
So lining up for his third goal of the second half and really put the nail in the coffin of Corowa. Jack O'Sullivan doesn't make the distance. Forrest flies, brings it to ground. Hanson was clean. They work it out down the broadcast wing. Ainsworth ran into a bit of trouble. He's going to kick it back into attack here for Wodonga. Shutt flies across and takes a nice mark, and he plays on straight away for Corowa, who trail by 36 points.
Wants to go riverside of the ground for the Roos. Finds Axelby. How many for him on the 40 wings, David?
That's 14 for Will.
I think he's made a solid start to his career in the O&M after joining from Belconnen.
Where's that for those who don't know, Gussie?
Canberra competition.
Yep.
The Magpies, I believe, David.
Correct.
Down the line go the Roos. Nice weighted ball. Jed Longmire. We're taking Jed stats.
Yes, number 14 for Jed.
And a couple of goals. Elijah Amory on centre wing. Plays on for Corowa. Turns the ball over into the middle of the ground. Keeping his feet with a Roos. Cassidy couldn't quite hang on to the ball there, but umpires paid a free kick for holding the ball. It's against Axelby. It's going to go the way of which dog?
Greenhill. Was that holding the ball, really?
Yeah, holding the ball.
Tried to fend him off.
Okay, yep.
And it's going to be a free kick here to Jai Hymas for the Dogs in the centre of the ground, Panda.
Who's kicked 2 goals for the Dogs today, both in the opening quarter. Goes out wide to Riekerman, who doesn't look like he wants to keep that footy in, and game just fading away a little bit, Bobby J, for the Newmarket.
Yeah,
boundary throw in far side.
Just a couple of times in the last minute or so, Corowa was trying to change lanes into the middle of the ground and miss their targets. You know, they need to be hitting those targets if they want to progress as a footy club and footy team. You know, right in the middle of the ground, they've turned the footy over with the switching to the footy.
They certainly have, which is one thing Kreza identified in the off-season. They just needed to clean up. Soroczynski, his kick poor, and Cody Shutt intercepts across half-back for Corowa. Dangerous switch across goals, finds Axelby.
Axelby wants to play on and bring the ball out to the clubroom side. Forrest breaks away across half-back and he chips a well-weighted ball to Richardson. Richardson met head-on by Jorgensen. Now Ainsworth, handball searching over the top, trying to find Venturoni. Back onto Cassidy. Now the coach O'Sullivan, chiseling ball inside 50. Starting to get on top here are the Dogs, well and truly. Mark has been taken inside 50 by Jet Cassidy.
Just cleaner with the footy, aren't they? Like this time last year, or particularly last season, that was the thorn in their side. They just turned the footy over when they had no right to, and at the moment they just look like they're a lot cleaner by hand and cleaner by foot. So the signs are pretty good for Wodonga at the moment.
Inside 50s in the 4th term. David Wink, thanks to the team at 40 Winks.
5-3. That 5 marks for the Bulldogs inside their forward 50.
And this for their 3rd goal. Jet Cassidy wraps things up on Easter Saturday with a double. Jets got 2, the Dogs have 17, and they're going to head back to Wodonga with 4 points on the Easter long weekends.
He's one that really, I think, Panda, you maybe said, needed a big year for the Bulldogs. If he can be that 3rd fiddle with Huddy and Spitter down in that forward 50, it's going to be a really dynamic and dangerous forward line, isn't it?
Certainly is. 17 goals for a side that was ranked, I think, 6th for scores in 2018. and 26. So this is a wonderful return for Jared Twitt and Jack O'Sullivan's boys, Wodonga, in front of a big crowd here on Easter Saturday. They've certainly been the better side, especially in the second half. Reminding they did trail the 15th minute mark of the second quarter by 15 points, and they've kicked 3, 6, 9 of the last 12 goals. They've been spectacular. Fox out of the middle, kicks it out to the far side. Stevens does well at ground level. Goes by hand to that man, Jack O'Sullivan, who gets a free kick for in the back. He's been brilliant today, Jack O'Sullivan. Goes inboard with another beautiful kick once again. Finds Jet Cassidy, who can kick 2 in a minute. And the foot skills, Bobby J, of Jack O'Sullivan. He's kicked 2 himself, and he's set up about 6 or 7.
He might be the catalyst to turn this little group of midfielders around in regards to their polish. You know, just bringing a guy like Jack O'Sullivan, who's fully fit, into that midfield group, that just might give them the confidence. You know, Cassidy, both the Cassidy boys, Ainsworth, Wilson, you know, Jorgensen, they all feed off good players, and he's a good player, mate. No, actually, he's not a good player, he's a gun.
I stuffed it up before. They've kicked 12 of the last 15 goals. This for 13 of the last 16 majors. Jet Cassidy makes no mistake, and he's kicked 3. A great return for Jet Cassidy. The 18th for the Dogs, and it's getting a little bit ugly here at the John Ford Oval, Winky, for 40 Winks.
Certainly is, and this is something the Roos wouldn't have wanted, especially when they came back in that third term. To let this one go is a little bit disappointing, and I'm sure will be picked apart by Krezra and his coaching staff.
48 points the margin here on O&M Live, thanks to Porter Carpets Wodonga. And one thing that Connor Rutherglen will continue to do is keep trying to attack and hit the scoreboard. They'll try and peg this one back, but at the moment, Wodonga just have all the answers. They look a skill set above. Wouldn't be surprised if Wodonga looked to bring a player like Jack O'Sullivan or a Huddy Garoni to the bench soon. Bobby J is, we know there's 17 big games to go in the home and away season. Wodonga look home here on Easter Saturday. Tom O'Sullivan kicks the ball backwards on his best kick off the boot. Nico Stevens is there. Onto the runner of Bradshaw, long down the line. Trying to find a surging lead in Gill. Gill's hands were okay. His teammates went on the same page. Axelby got it from Longmire. Running down the wing. Kicks long down the line. Good hands from Jolliffe out in front. First time Burke's been beaten today in the Bradkey direction. Good hands on it. Couldn't quite reel it in. Now it's in dispute. Venturoni shovels it out wide for the Dogs. Morrison kicks as far as the eye can see. He's found Gill and the Dogs are away.
They are down the far side with run and carry and dash through Sorochinski. Short kick looking for Spiteri. Geordie Ayres right up his bum. Gill does well. Ball spills out of the tackle. Spiteri mops up on centre wing. Nice little inboard kick finds Jack O'Sullivan. How many now, David Wink?
That'll be 30.
And 2 goals. Goes to his brother Tommy. He can come out to the broadcast wing. Just hit too much of the footy for Cohen Ainsworth, but it doesn't matter. He can pop it over the top to Jet Cassidy, who can line up for 3 goals in a row. He passes it off to Garoni. Deep in the pocket. John Ford bridge end of the ground, and he will line up for 6, Hudson Garoni.
Yeah, Sullivan boys and young Cassidy have had a little purple patch the last 3 or 4 minutes, haven't they? They've really capitalised on some clean footy coming out of the back half, and Big Hattie's going for half a dozen.
I don't know if that was a better option from Cassidy.
So Garoni runs around and misses, especially considering he kicked the point, Gussie, to back up your point. And the Dogs move to 18-10 over Coro at 10-8.
5 goals, 4?
I'm thinking that's the same case. Bobby's our stats guru when it comes to goals.
I've got 5-2 and 2 short.
I've got 5-2 and 2 short too. Yep.
There you go.
That's why he's the best. David's taking a lot of numbers. Things get confusing this stage of the day. Poor kick in the middle of the ground. Lavis has continued to try all day, trying to find Hansen. Hansen paddles it to his own advantage, gathers the ball, kicking long down the line, out of bounds on the full. I reckon he got pushed in the back, but it was well and truly after he kicked it. So the Bulldogs will be the recipient of the out of bounds on the full free kick, I should say. And they get the ball to Bradshaw at centre half back. He wants to switch out wide for the Wodonga Bulldogs on the Riverside. Nice work there from Hymas. True centre wing, Venturoni for Wodonga. Chiseling, low raking ball into the hands of Fox now. Inside 50 go Wodonga. Not the best kick. Forrest read it well. And he might have got an arm on the way through from Wilson there. He looks a bit proppy, Bobby J.
Yeah, I think just a loose one by Mattress there. He just might have clipped him on the way through. Honest.
Forrest finds the intended target. tied up in the back line. Richardson chips over the top. He's found St John.
Charlie St John, 4th term for Churchy and the boys at the Great Outdoors. We played 17 minutes for NZ. 4th term scoreboard thanks to Marty and the guys at Wodonga Border Carpets as Corowa move it down the far wing. Oh, Burke, an elite body and paint. Mark of the day once again. How many intercept marks now, Winky?
7.
He has been everywhere today as Reuben Burke. He's going to get it back here. It's on the edge of the square. He's going to switch the footy. I reckon he hits the wrong part of his foot and it actually goes to KB and turns the footy over. Him and Tom McCaffrey weren't on the same page because McCaffrey didn't get the hand pass. Bradshaw pushes off his opponent. His hand pass hits the deck. Morrison has enough time to balk and go by hand. It was a good tackle from Chandler. Big Thompson has to do a little bit of work and McCaffrey smothers it over the line for a throw-in at half forward here for Corowa, who trailed 10-8-68 to the Dogs 18-9-117. We've played almost 20 minutes in this last quarter, and the Dogs have kicked the only 4 goals.
Boundary throw-in right in front of Bob Jackson for the Newmarket Hotel. It's a well-weighted throw-in. In the ruck was Longmire. That's Jed at bootlace level. Curry's busy, so is Jed Longmire. Tom O'Sullivan looks knackered. Will ball the footy up. David Wink, who's leading the 40-wing stat sheet at the 19-minute mark, thanks to NZ.
Jack O'Sullivan, 30 and 2 goals, 7 in this last term.
Nice ruck craft there from Big Clans for Kyle Rutherglen. Charlie St John wrapped in a big tackle. Umpire said holding the ball. I reckon he's a bit stiff. Free kick to Tommy O'Sullivan. Across half back for the Bulldogs. And he's been good, the younger brother of the co-coach. And we're yet to see these two boys play much footy together, Panda, but the sample size we have seen is quite impressive.
Yep, really impressive. How good does Jack O'Sullivan look, Bobby J?
Yeah, he's a classy player, isn't he? And he's only going to drag these young fellas along as well.
Sorochinsky receives it on the broadcast wing. Goes down the line, finds Ollie Greenhill, who got some airtime before. Greenhill into the pocket looking for Garoni, who takes a mark in front of his opponent there, Tommy Longmire. And both key backs at both ends of the ground. Longmire and Morrison have tried their ringer off all day, but the delivery into the respective key forwards has been great. And Garoni will line up for 6. Tight angle, probably 48 or 49 out, Bobby J.
They would have had nightmares last night coming into today's game with those two defenders. And I reckon they're going to have nightmares tonight when they're going to put the head to the pillow. Those two defenders.
Wouldn't be surprised if both Longmire and Morrison are in the respective sides' best as well.
Absolutely. Garoni arcs around on the right. Does he have the distance? It's touched on the line. It looked pretty good. And that's 5-3 now for Hudson Garoni. And the margin is at an even 50 points, 68-118. We've played about 21 minutes for NZ.
Bob Jackson, Newmarket Hotel. Anyone coming for a spell for the Dogs? Looks like Morrison's off the ground.
Yeah, Chugger's coming for a spell. I'm not sure it's to rest him up or not. I just think he would come off because he's been chasing tail all day. He's had an outstanding day, the Wodonga Bulldogs captain.
Great kick from Cody Shutt at fullback to find Lavis. In front of the canteen here at the John Ford Oval. Lavis inboard, finds Curry, plays on quickly, linking up with Jed Longmire. The Roos look dangerous. Long down the line, Axelby, fresh off the bench, impacted. Umpire calls him to play on the right boot. The former Belconnen Magpie down the line, trying to find Jolliffe. Oh, good hands in front of Nico Stevens from Pumba. Tied up on the boundary, 50 from home. He's got a chipping option if he wants to use it. He ignores, he goes all the way himself, and not the best kick from Jolliffe. A little bit hungry. Darren Creswell won't be overly impressed with that. They went away from their team structures there. The scoreboard's just gone backwards, Panda. I think it is 10-9 to 18-10.
Correct.
Thanks to Church in the boys. It was 10-10, maybe a little bit trigger happy.
Yeah, there's a new system that's getting rolled out alongside Play HQ. There's been some teething issues at various grounds.
Another new system?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure why it continues to evolve.
Didn't they use a new one last year?
Yeah, but this is now another new one. It's meant to make things easier.
What was wrong with the old one?
I'm not sure. The one that worked, you mean?
Yeah.
McCarthy on the left foot, inside 50. It sails out of bounds for a boundary throw. And this is where we start to think about MVPs. We start to think about Rebel Fitness Player of the Day. And it will go to someone from Wodonga. I reckon there's two who are in the race, I reckon, boys, for the Rebel Fitness Player of the Day.
Jack O'Sullivan, Ruben Burke.
Yep, you read my mind. No pressure, Bobby J.
No, they're the two guys I had in my brain.
Oh, great minds
It's a
think
small brain,
alike.
but it's in my brain.
Small brain for me either. And Paddy Lavis snapping on goal out of the stoppage, kicks it. He's had a really good day, I reckon, Paddy Lavis. He's tried hard all day, provided a good run and carry, and kicks the goal for Cora other than the margin back to 43 points here for Border Carpets Wodonga.
The man we call Pickle Rick, he's given them some spark across half forward and through the middle of the ground at various stages today. And he's a flashy player that can really light up a crowd, can't he? He just needs to get some support through that middle of the ground. And he's a classy player, both sides of the body. So he's a player to watch moving forward, Pickle Rick.
He's got some X factor, this Pickle Rick. And that was a great finish in front of goal. 118 plays 75. The Dogs lead thanks to the great outdoors on O&M Live. Emmett Northey in the ruck. He's going to be a big talent. Not all doom and gloom for Corowa today as Jed Longmire kicks them inside forward 50 to Roos. Out the back, Bradkey. Bradkey has a handballing option in Lavis. Wants to find the right boot. Back to Caelan Bradkey. Bit of a don't argue. KB centres the ball. Top of the goal square. It's coming back. It's just missing. That would have been goal of the day from Caelan Bradkey. It's a Sunjet point of the day nonetheless. Corowa 76, the Dogs 118, thanks to Border Carpets.
What's lighting up your stat sheet in this fourth term, Winky, for 40 Winks?
Noel Bradshaw's got 5 disposals, along with young Colin Ainsworth has really run this game out. He's had 15 for the game.
Another one for Bradshaw.
Forrest leaps really high to intercept and an effective spoil. They link up Charlie St John at half forward. Awkward looking kick in towards Will Chandler, who thought he was grabbed high. He was, yep. So umpire Taylor Perkins on that one.
Was the ball out of bounds prior to the high?
I think it was, but he still got him high with that left arm. And Will Chandler, right side for a left footer here, Bobby J. Tied up against the pocket. You'll expect him to run around and have a snap here from 35.
Yeah, he'll run around and have a pot shot here. Sweet kick of the footy, Will Chandler, so distance isn't a problem.
I've got him for 1 goal, 3, gents.
Yep.
So he's hasn't had his kicking boots on. Snap on goal, hits the post. A couple of posters today for Corowa. Sort of sums up their afternoon here at the John Ford Oval, or maybe one. And the margin's back to 41 points for Border Carpets. We've played 24 and a half minutes for NZ. Fourth quarter for Great Outdoors, Churchy and the boys.
Bobby J, I'm sure there's a lot of positives for Corowa to take out of this first hit out. Will Chandler's been good. I liked Emmett Northey. There's been some positive signs nonetheless.
There certainly has. Their intention to move the ball a certain way has been very impressive. Just the execution at times has let them down, particularly through the middle of the ground when they're looking to change lanes and move that ball forward. You know, there was a high emphasis on lowering your eyes, moving the ball forward there early in the game, and just some little teething issues that they can tinker with, and I'm sure Kreza will get to work on that during the week and make sure that that's improved for future games. But there's a lot of upside, 100% there is.
Charlie Morrison Spitzy and a few of the important ones off Gussie.
Yeah, Jorgie's another one.
Early shower, down the line. Out the back is Garoni if they can get it to him. Stevens wrapped up in a tackle. Corowa's defence stand up. Not happy with that one, Blexen.
I just thought the prior opportunity at times today has been a bit stiff, but it's been consistent.
Ball's at half back. Curry inboard to Axelby. You've liked his game today, David.
That's 19 disposals for Will on debut.
Here's Jed Longmire in the middle of the John Ford Oval, still bathed in sunshine, looking for KB over his head. Out the back here is Jolliffe. Can he pick the ball up? He fumbles. He goes by hand to Pickle Rick, and he dribbles it through for a goal. So that's his second in this final term. Made hard work of it then. Coro almost stuffed it up, Bobby, but something to smile about on the scoreboard for Pickle Rick.
Yeah, it's a little bit of junk time stuff, but they still got to dot their I's and cross their T's in regards to little things like ball movement and entries in a forward 50. So, as much as it's late in the day and dead time, they still got some boxes they want to tick in regards to their improvement and game style and game movement and ball movement. So, getting a couple of late goals, might be a little bit of junk time stuff, but it's always a lesson to be learned all the way through to the final siren.
Don't forget, Gussie, we will be calling the action again on 2AY's O&M Live tomorrow. The big Easter Sunday clash between Myrtleford and Albury on 2AY pre-game from 1 p.m.
Going to be an absolute rip snorter, and of course, netball grand final rematch. We'll get some. We're going to play it down here.
Yeah.
Keep tabs on Jack O'Sullivan. Longmire inside 50 once again. Dribbling across the face minor score. I was going to say a Ray White Rural netball update, Panda. Grand final rematch tomorrow in the SSNA, Ovens and Murray. I'm going to get some A-grade. The senior football as well. 83 plays 118, Panda, here at full time. The Dogs have saluted on O&M Live.
It looks like Curry and Jacko Sullivan were at that stoppage in the middle of the ground, and Jacko just caught one in the bread basket there. He looks a little bit sore, Bobby. We might get you to catch up.
Not sure Jack's going to shake Angus's hand after
You don't
the
reckon?
game. No, not what I saw, no.
Well, David, you better get that Rebel Fitness Player of the Day sign down there and assist Bobby J. And I reckon he's going to go straight to that man, Jacko Sullivan. That's it. Who's going to get my votes if I had a say? But it's not our job, Panda.
No.
It's Bob Jackson's job to award the Rebel Fitness Player of the Day. Now, big shout out to Jared Twitt, the coach of the Wodonga Bulldogs. He is the man behind Rebel Fitness.
Yes, he is.
In Albury, and he's jumped on board as the Player of the Day sponsor. And unfortunately for Twitty, he can't win it himself. He's no longer a player, but I'm sure he'd be very, very happy to see the sign in the hands of one of his beloved doggy boys.
Absolutely. Bobby J would want to get to Jacko Sullivan before Fritter does, because he's just circling. He's our man Andrew Moore at the Border Mail.
Well, the newspaper's not going to come out until probably Monday.
Yeah.
So,
Tuesday with the public holiday, isn't it, Gussie?
Exactly right. So Fritter, I reckon, can hold fire. Fritter looks like he's trying to shake hands here.
Yeah,
Andrew Moyle.
It's because he is circling, I reckon, Jacko Sullivan. That's why.
You reckon that's where he wants to go? I can't find Jacko Sullivan.
There he is, and there's Fritter. I'm on the money again. So if you're just joining us on 2AY and O&M Snap Print Solutions TV, the Dogs, thanks to 7 on the trot between the second and third quarter, set up a big lead. The margin blew out to 48 points at one stage, and Corowa kicked a couple of late ones to bring it back to 35 points. They run away winners 18-10, 118 to Corowa at 12-12, 84. Yeah, I like this. I like this. Bobby J, we've got a new player of the day because Jacko Sullivan's held up. It's Ruben Burke.
Yeah, Rebel Player of the Day is Ruben Burke, mate. Fantastic start this season, mate. It was hot early, and you guys took control in that second half of that third quarter and really ran away with it.
Yeah, it was extremely hot. They got the jump on us early, but I thought we did really well to settle down in the second half and go back to our brand of footy. Yeah, it was good. Good win. You
sort of played off your opponent a little bit to help out Charlie and his role on KB. You took something like seven intercept marks today, mate, so you had a big influence on helping out your captain.
Yeah, KB he's a brute force, so we had to do all we could to help Chug out. And when he kicks as many as he did on we consider the best defender in the comp. That's a serious effort from him. So we tried our best to mitigate his influence, and we thought we did really well. So our game plan was to try and help Chug out where we could. I thought we did that really well.
And your coach, he really took the game on his shoulders there in that second half, and it's great to see him fit and healthy and playing some really good footy.
Yeah, he kicked some freakish goals there, and he really brought all of us up when they got a few goals on us. But he just changed the momentum just from his efforts, and it's good to have him fit and healthy and run out a full game.
Well done, mate. A great start this season, young man. Congratulations. Well done.
Rebel Fitness Player of the Day, Ruben Burke. I'm sure Twitty's going to really enjoy seeing it in the hands of plenty of Wodonga Bulldogs, of course. Head to Rebel Fitness on Facebook to find out all the information about the launch memberships that are available. Rebel Fitness in Albury proudly supporting the Player of the Day.
You see the size difference between Winky and Ruben Burke just then. Gus McLeod.
Well, David Wink's a small, crafty forward.
He is. He's a small, crafty, dirty forward is what he was. He was a little rat bag out the pack he was. He was always getting blokes behind play, our man David Dawson-Wink. But that was a really exciting game of football. What we've seen 26 goals kicked and almost 100 points.
Got your money's worth today, didn't we?
Over 200 points kicked, which is what you want to see. But I tell you what, the way Wodonga moved the football today, and the way Hudson Garoni was allowed to mark the ball inside forward 50, call it not great defensive running at times from Coro, but really slick ball movement from Wodonga. That's the best I've seen the Dogs move the football in 3 or 4 years since they last played a semi-final.
And Winky made a great point. When Coro got back on top in the third term, it was off the back of Tom O'Sullivan and Jack O'Sullivan coming to the bench for a rest. And when they weren't on the ground, they really struggled to have an impact on the contest. And that's when Corowa got on top. They broke away with a couple clearances in the middle of the ground. And I think that really showed. We might go to Bobby J for the Newmarket Hotel. Jared Twitt's addressing the players on the ground.
Yeah, he's just going through his little debrief here, and it's just a little bit cooler out here. I might just try and do a bit of a walk and talk here. I might just grab the new big key forward that they've got and have a bit of chat with him, boys.
Huddy
Garoni, mate. Welcome to the O&M. Welcome back to the O&M, mate. How's that?
Yeah, no, it's good. It's a good first game. Perfect conditions. So, good work. Good win for the boys. I think we kick 18 goals. It's a pretty good turnout.
Walk and talk, mate. I can walk and talk at the same time, brother.
Yeah, no, perfect, Bob, perfect.
You had a good service most of the day. You probably had about 8 shots at goal today. You happy with the service the boys have delivered?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was perfect. As I said, like when we move the ball quickly, it's hard to stop, obviously. Lucky to get on end of a couple, but I think we still, I know personally, still got a little bit to go, so a little bit underdone. But struggling a little bit in the second half there, but it was good.
How about your partner in crime and Noah Spitzy? He's a live wire and he'll take some pressure off you throughout the year.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's really good to have Spitter there. As you said, he's a little sneaky chance for a little goal. So it's really good pairing with him. I think we complement each other pretty well. So it's exciting, I think.
Good stuff, mate. Welcome back and get in there and sing that song, buddy. Well done, mate.
He's a good speaker and he's a ripper. Is our man Hudson Garoni, who kicked 5 goals, 3. Kalen Bradkey kicked 6 goals, 5 of those in the first half, 4 in the first quarter, and it was 11 between the two big boys. Hudson Garoni coming away with the 4 points with his Wodonga Bulldogs. As Bobby Jackson is just wanting the splitter, I'll chuck it down to him. And of course, we'll try and capture the dog song. We might get you to come back, Bobby, if you want to capture the dog song, because we'll have to find that one in our equipment gear. It's just down there, Gus McLeod. So if you're just joining us here on 2AY, the Dogs 34-point winners, 18-10-118 to Kyle Rutherglen, 12-12-84. Hudson Garoni with 5, 3 to Jet Cassidy, 3 to Noah Spitzy, 2 to Jai Hymas, Adam Jorgensen, and Jack O'Sullivan a single to Riley Gill. We're in the Dogs' rooms. Here they are. We might. We sort of got the song there a little bit, but nonetheless a big win to Wodonga, who won by 34 points thanks to a 7-goal stretch of unanswered in the second and third quarter over Kyle Rutherglen. We'll take a break. Our post-game show for the Clubhouse Bar and Bistro on the other side of this. Wodonga 18-10-118 to Kyle Rutherglen 12-12-84. It's O&M Live on Easter Saturday, where you won't miss a thing.
SS&A, this is your place.
All right. I love you. Have a good shift.
The all-new Nissan Navara, built for the grid shift.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Whatever it looks like, with GoTAFE, you've got this. Get real skills for real jobs and careers right now. Search GoTAFE today.
The Ovens and Murray Football League is proudly sponsored by Opal. Thinking packaging? Discover Opal.
Shorty get inspired. How about that? This time, shorty get.
Explore where your new home begins. Discover our designs. Discover local land. Discover what's possible. Visit Sundancer Homes' new sales centre and showroom at 482 Kiowa Street, Albury.
I reckon I'll go mid. Carlton Dry 3.5. Embrace the mid.
No one celebrates life like you do. At Tobin Brothers Funerals, we're here to help you celebrate the life of your loved one, your own special way. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
This goes out to all the athletes, the fitness buffs, and the huff and puffs. On your marks, get set. Find your perfect fit at the athlete's foot.